Sup, everybody? This is Karak with ACG, and I'm here with Takedown, and we are doing the Banter Files. Random discussion, random stuff. So if you have anything to say or any questions, put them in Twitch. How you been doing, Takedown?
I've been doing good. A lot of streaming, a lot of YouTube stuff, keeping
How's
busy.
the streaming been going?
It's all right. It's been slow and steady. Haven't been getting huge numbers, but I've only been streaming twice this week.
You mean you haven't pumped it up to like levels to where people are calling you? Jessica Chastain's on the phone. She's like,
"Oh, she's so hot.
We need
Jesus.
you. We need you in. We need you right now." We are going to be covering a bunch of random stuff. That's what these are about. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them to us. These are just unique videos for us to do because we're always yakking anyway. And sometimes we'll yak about games. Sometimes we won't. Sometimes we'll talk about crazy shit. Today is my time to handle most of the subjects, and I got a number of them. Other than thanking the patrons, thanking the subscribers, thanking the people for going and looking at the game awards, those will be... Thanks for Reg for understanding the joke. Reg got it. If anybody wants to know when those videos will be done, they're done today. We did 2. I'll do 2 each day as I go forward. I'm finishing up on 1 or 2 of those awards. So the first thing, let's discuss. We're going to discuss a movie because that Sherlock Holmes movie with the Talladega Nights guys got 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. After
Really?
20 critics saw it, they considered it. People were saying that they would take money to not go. So let's talk a little bit about this because I'm actually a big fan of everybody in those. I'm a big fan of Talladega Nights. I think it's fucking hilarious when they do the little baby Jesus prayer with the KFC chicken on their table. I think those John C. Reilly and what's the other guy?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. But I'm surprised at this. I'm surprised at how poorly it did. And what's weird is they even talk about the jokes and say that the jokes are very boring. They waste the cast. They waste the side cast, the people, the 2 people who aren't the special stars. They waste them as well. What do you think of that? Do you think that that's just maybe people getting tired of the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly thing? Or is it just maybe a miss?
I don't know. I was hoping it would be good because the last film I did together was Step Brothers, and that's my favorite comedy of all time ever. So I'm disappointed. I don't know if I'll like it. I was reading some of the critics' reviews, and what they were saying sounds fair. Like sometimes you'll read a critic review and you'll be like, that just sounds like a load of shit. Like what you're saying just doesn't sound like you're making a fair judgment. But this sounded like the jokes fell flat, and the actors weren't putting their heart in, and the side characters weren't used, which all sounds like fair judgment.
And I think when it comes to fair judgment and stuff like that, like you can see when you look at how people do things, you can sort of see reviews and where there's some flexibility, and you'll be like, okay, this is going to be a little contentious. But with that one, there was no it was like everybody high-fived each other on the way out of the movie theater and was like, let's fuck this thing. And not in a bad way, in a way that maybe for whatever reason, it just didn't hit. I mean, it's possible. Dumb and Dumber 2 didn't hit as big as Dumb and Dumber 1, I don't think.
No, that was much worse rated, yeah.
But wasn't this supposed to be in the same world? Didn't they even joke and say that Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, and this are the same universe? Like this in a weird way? I thought there was like some joke amongst them.
I think there was a joke because in Step Brothers, John C. Reilly's dad's a doctor, and he can't go into there's a whole joke in the film where he's like, let me join the family business, Dad. And his dad's like, you're not a doctor, you idiot. How can you join the family business? And then in this film, he's playing a doctor. So they've made that joke in interviews that he's finally a doctor.
Oh, okay.
That's all I've heard.
Catsley says, I like John C. Reilly, not a fan of Ferrell. Ferrell is one-dimensional. It's a Step Brothers reskin. Okay. Have you seen it, or are you guessing that it's a Step Brothers reskin? Personally, I think Ferrell I came onto Ferrell late. I didn't see the Saturday Night Live stuff. I saw him Talladega Nights, and I almost died laughing. Like, I've never been, other than Leslie Nielsen, Naked Gun, the Naked Gun series just being unbelievably incredible. Every satire, every parody, every comedy ages poorly, usually. Naked Gun doesn't age poorly, except for the fact that O.J. Simpson's a murderer, and in there he's a fucking police detective. But it always jumps around. This blew me away. Like, I don't know. I guess I just assumed this was perfect. Sherlock is still popular.
Yeah, it's weird.
Of all the groups of like movies they could make, this seems like it's sort of a natural progression of and Sherlock Holmes. I mean that kind of those partners are dumb anyway. Even in the other shows, they have stupid moments. So the idea of like both of those guys doing just crazy shit, I don't know, man. I got to be honest. I'm actually a little bit depressed by it. I was really hoping to see more success. So
I'm going to watch it though. I'll still watch it when it comes out just to make my own judgment.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about Rotten Tomatoes because whether it turns into a B movie or whether you can just look and say, yeah, they were right. I want the knowledge, so I'm certain.
Yeah, I want to know if it's bad because it's bad or if it's bad and good. If you know what I mean, like a B movie.
Sure.
That's what I need to know. Because Step Brothers isn't considered a good film by critics, and it's my favorite comedy ever made.
Okay,
and it's not like 90, 80 out of 100. It gets like 50 or 60, I think.
That's a full 50 points above what this got.
Yeah. Well, we just got 7% on Rotten Tomatoes of now, which is ridiculously low.
That's ridiculously low. That's
on 20 on Metacritic.
That's like the score you would get if I did a karak, biography, and I told that story of my own life, and people would be like, "Yeah, this is terrible. This is a 7." That's the score I would expect. Exactly. But not for them. Not for them. I would expect 25s, 30s for a dumb movie where you might go in and go, "Yeah, this is sort of funny. This thing's sort of humorous. This thing's sort of enjoyable." But instead, not a goddamn thing was said about it that was positive.
Nope. I mean, even Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I thought would have done worse, and that has done ridiculously well. It's got 97 on Metacritic.
Not only has it got 97, a lot of people consider it their favorite Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. I've heard that or the PS4 game are two of the biggest at the moment in terms of
Shadow. It is going good. Thanks for asking.
It's going all right.
I don't know. I really like Farrell. I find him funny. I can see why people think he's one-dimensional. I think Riley reminds me of Ron Howard's brother, the crazy-looking dude that Ron Howard always puts in all his movies. Can't remember his name. John. It might be John Howard. They both look the same. I want to see them in the same movie. But, yep, sad, man.
Yeah. John C. Reilly is surprisingly one-dimensional. If you've seen some of his dramas, he's a really good actor.
He's a really good actor. Didn't he do the one where he faked the Johnny Cash, where he was pretending to be like a fake Johnny Cash, and it was the same kind of story? I'm sure, like, instead of Hold the Fire or whatever, the Johnny Cash one, they did one that was like a ripoff of that was really good. He also does the crazy ass interviews on YouTube where he pretends to be the weird squirrely doctor. Have you seen that?
I have not. I need to see that now.
It's called like Walk Hard. Walk Hard is the movie that I was talking about. Yeah,
I've heard of that.
You have not seen, dude. It's called like an interview between two ferns, and that's quite literally what it is.
Zach Galifianakis, yeah.
No. It's then I'm getting the two mixed up. It's not Zach's. It's John C. Reilly, and he's got these googly eye like Coke bottle glasses, and just some of the shit he says. What's up, Nick Pats? Thank you very much for jumping in. Tell everybody we're doing this. If you guys get a chance, we've got a bunch of different stuff to discuss. We're gonna rate a couple other game awards nominees and shows that I saw that I want to see what Takedown thinks of them.
And I'll be rating Carracks just for fun.
And he'll be rating mine, even though there's only 2. And then we'll be talking about all different kinds of stuff. I even have about 50 other questions that it's Steve Brule, Cat Sleeve says. Or Steve.
Oh, is that the character?
That's the character, yeah. Yeah, dude. Okay. It's amazing. I mean, when the stuff he says is so dumb, but it sounds intelligent. It reminds you almost instantly of an ACG review, where you're like, this guy is using big words, and
I can't believe I've never seen this.
He knows nothing of what he's saying. Yeah, you should check it out. All right.
Jeez.
Moving on from there. I have a question. It preoccupies my mind. It's an important question. It's a question that I think is serious. It has political ramifications, and this is the time where we get serious here on the Banter Files. Would you rather be shot or stabbed?
Where? Is it anywhere, or have you got a specific idea?
Okay, that's fair. I didn't say where, because if we say the dick, I think you just are like, I'd rather be killed. So let's say in the back, like the movies, the one stab in the back. Okay, so stab in the back or shot in the back, what would you rather be?
So you're most likely not going to die from it instantly. Okay.
And we're not going to say you were shot with a howitzer, right? Because then you just turn into a mist.
You'd be dead, yeah.
Let's say it's a 30-06, low caliber 30. No, let's say it's a machine gun, so M16. So 227.
Just give me a 9mm and I'll take it in the back.
Okay, 9mm. 9mm versus Halloween stab. Done? Really?
9mm bullets are probably the least like going to be impactful and painful unless you're talking about like something big.
They
But
hurt,
then
dude.
I can imagine they hurt like fuck. But I don't know about a knife wound because it's going in, it's coming out. There's more. I don't know.
So let me tell you, I got
know.
stabbed, and I would consider what I got stabbed with to be nothing more than a steak knife with the ridges on the blade. Not even a normal knife where they're perfectly sharp, but they got the little ridges, and it hurts like a son of a bitch. So I'm gonna actually go with I'd rather be shot, because I think you'd probably go into shock when you get stabbed. A lot of times it's just like, and you can sort of move around, because that's actually happened to me as well, right in the back of the thigh. So
I think the shot's going to be more specific as well. Like it's going to go into one place. The knife could be sloppy. It could go at an angle,
pulled out the wrong direction. Like stab it in straight, but then bend it and then try to pull it out. Like
the bullet's going to be clean. It's going to be easy to fix for a doctor, maybe, because it's a clean little wound.
One of my friends,
they're both going to hurt.
A really good guy. He was out hunting, 22 calibers. They were out shooting. They were out plunking birds, and one of his friends threw the gun like a dumbass, butt first into the truck. It caught on something, fired. It hit his kneecap. Now this is 22 caliber, 22 long range. So this is incredibly small caliber. Hit his knee, shot all the way down his calf or his shin bone, and then shot out of the bottom of his foot. And he's like, I go, so what did it feel like? You know, because he has a big skin graft. Like we're talking that big, easy, because it blew. It like when it went like that, it peeled it just damaged that skin and everything.
Yeah.
He said it felt like somebody had. He said at first he was all, oh shit, he felt the impact. It's not very much on a 22. He was like, oh. And then he said it felt like somebody was just repeatedly burning him with a flamethrower the entire time. And I was like, damn, son. Of course, it went down his shin. It did some bone damage to the bone. Complete accident. I mean, you bring a dumbass with you. How much of an accident is it, really? Maybe not so much.
Exactly.
But he brought a dumbass. You ever gone shooting? You can't really do that where you live, right?
We can go, if you've got a permit, you can have a shotgun in your house, but it has to be locked away under the stairs in a safe vault.
Of course, because that makes sense. Somebody's breaking in. You're like, hey, hang on. Let me go to the fucking safe. Let me enter the dial in a stress mode. Let me open it. Let me fucking
But if someone breaks in over here and you shoot them, you're still getting arrested. There's no lenience for that shit over here.
Really?
Yeah, in America, I think if you shoot someone on your property, you've got the law on your side, haven't you?
If they're engaged in something, that does turn around. There's been a couple suings when somebody was running away. So if
that's different though.
Yeah, if somebody gets in, if somebody's coming in and they're breaking in, then there is a it's like homeland law. Or
like self-defense rather than malicious intent. Running after them, shooting them is a bit different. Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm in my house and somebody kicks in my door, there's really only two chances. Castle Doctrine. Thank you, Maya Wide. That's the name of the rule. If somebody breaks in your door, you've got two choices, really. One, it's the cops. If you pull a gun, you're fucked, right? They're going to light you full of holes, light your dogs full of holes, shoot your fucking birthday cake. Like, everything's going to be destroyed. But you can't bet on that. You know, like if you got fake swatted or something, you can't bet on that. So it's time to lay down the law, and you'd probably be shooting back at somebody. There has been reports of like people shooting a shootout and then people run off and somebody plinks them. I'd probably try to get him in the ankle to slow him down so we could catch him.
Yeah, right. Don't kill him. Just
trying to
hog tie them, put them on the train track.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be right out of Red Dead where you're like, I'd go in,
feed them to the alligators.
I'd go into slow vision mode, and I'd be like, boom, and I'd get him right in the ankle, and then I would tie him to like the front mailbox. But seriously,
I did that in Red Dead. It was good.
Seriously, so they make you lock it up. They make you put. Can you have shells in it if it's locked up?
Oh no, it can't be loaded. No.
Are you fucking shitting me? Really? So
no, it cannot,
so then you have to find the
loaded.
shells. Can the shells be in the same safe?
I think they can.
Okay,
but it cannot be loaded. If it is loaded, you are going to prison.
What the fuck, man?
You're going to prison for having a loaded gun in your house.
It's like selling somebody all the parts for something and then saying, if you put this together, you're fucked. But you can have every single separate part.
No, you have to go to special places with special permissions and permits. You have to go to someone's private land who's got permits. You can't just take the gun out and walk around with it. Like even in your garden, you'd have to seal it up and make sure nobody knew what it was.
You know, when it comes down to it, I'm not even, as somebody who's hunted and somebody who plinks around still, it's not really like you're missing something. If you're a fan of just guns, like not killing somebody, but just guns and the enjoyment of using something unique like that. Having shot archery and my dad owning an archery shop for so many years, I would probably rather do archery anyway. Shooting, at least with archery, a lot of times you can go and get your arrows. Shooting guns,
I'd love to do that.
Incredibly expensive. Archery is a blast, dude.
Yeah,
archery is so fun. It's really bad on your joints because there's a lot of weight you're pulling back. You're pulling back, anywhere from like 55-pound pullback up to 85 pounds, depending on the bow, and that can fuck up your elbow. My dad's elbow is like that big because it gets calcium deposits on it. But have you seen some of those athletics in like the Olympians where they're shooting and it's like they can shoot, something that big from like 400 yards away? Yeah, it's amazing.
The real Oliver Queen arrow.
Yeah, no shit. It's funny because I just found out, I was watching Joe Rogan, and I found out that now at archery competitions, there's a lot of drug testing because a lot of people are taking beta blockers. Do you know what a beta blocker is?
Yeah.
So they're taking beta blockers so that their adrenaline goes down, and so they're able to shoot better. And now some of these, different archery places are like, hey, we're going to start testing. It's crazy because in the UFC, we test for everything that augments your speed. Makes you faster, makes you stronger. They're like, no. Can't smoke weed. That's another thing. There was like a couple of the games where like, maybe we should stop people from smoking weed as well because that'll calm you down. We want you to sort of be el natural. Put you out there in your underwear and fire a bow. You ever fired a bow?
Yeah. I think when I was 9.
And?
Or 10. I can't remember. I think I've done one more recently. I don't know. I wasn't very good, so it didn't really interest me at the time.
When you were growing up, did you guys have like boys clubs and
that's where I did
Scouts
it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we called it the Scout. It's called the Beavers. Then it goes to the Cubs. Then it goes to the Scouts.
The Beavers. Wow.
I don't know if you've got the same sort of society over there, but over the years they've all been shut down because they were pedo rings.
Yeah. Well, now with the politically correct thing, they don't want people to have different groups based on sex, and it's weird because
nowadays that shit would not fly.
Yeah. It's ours was just boys too, and then they switched. We had 4-H too, and I can't remember. Somebody who knows 4-H can probably state what this means, but 4-H the 4-H's meant something, but basically they taught you everything. It's like when I grew up, it was like I had to grow up. I had to learn how to sew, learn how to paint, learn how to build, make tents, make a snow igloo. Like you did all this shit in 4-H. You'd go out for a full weekend and they'd be like, okay, bitches, we're going to learn how to sew. And it's crazy because now it's, a lot of people would be like, I'm a man. I don't need to know how to sew. But back then they were, it was more teaching you shit that you might need, like sew a button.
Exactly.
On. Did you know how to sew? Did your mom show you how to sew when you were younger, to like fix a shirt?
My mom didn't, but my great grandma taught me to sew and knit.
See, we talked about this before. Great grandmothers passing on the data.
She taught me to knit. I knitted a jumper for her once. I was so proud. Took me like a year.
Okay, wait a minute. Now that's wussy. No, I'm just joking. You knew how to knit. You knitted her a jumper.
A jumper or a scarf, one of them. Probably a scarf.
We sound like we're in Demolition Man, where we were in prison and they reprogrammed us, and you come out and you're like, I would like to knit a jumper.
Knitting is so good though. It's so relaxing.
Is it?
Love that shit. Yeah, so like it's like you're doing the same thing over and over. It's so relaxing and lethargic.
Oh, but the repetition and building something. Yeah, I can see
and then
that.
Getting something out of it at the end is like, oh shit, I've made this.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd always do? Like I'd bust a button on a shirt because I'm always wrestling, but especially in school, you're always fucking with your
muscles pop out.
Well, that too. But bust a button. Now, to sew a button, people don't realize you don't sew that fucker on as tight as humanly possible. You give it some give so it can fit, but not me, man. I would be like, well, that thing broke once, so I'm going to fucking sew this thing so tight that like the shirt the second layer of the shirt couldn't even get under the button. It was good times learning skills as young children.
No, I just imagine you wearing a tight shirt and going like, and just popping all the buttons off.
No.
And you're standing there with your hair and your beard.
The only thing that could have ever happened on was just because of our age group at the time, dress shirts were a big thing. Everybody dressed up at school. It was still very preppy overall. And we all lifted. And there were a couple of us that like you would flex biceps and you would hear a depending on the shirt you were wearing. Some people wore shirts that were like 2 sizes too tight. They were like The Rock already.
I hate that shit.
Oh, dude, so did I. So that probably would never happen to me. But there'd be people who'd show up, and if they had eaten a fucking apple, you could quite literally watch it slowly go down into their gut. They were like The Rock. Plague Soul says, if you could choose one weapon to completely master, which weapon would it be? Let's go with one-handed or two-handed weapons. No guns. No guns. Go.
Nunchucks. Done. Hands down, nunchucks. Fucking love that. Be a little ninja.
So why nunchucks, though?
Because they are the only weapon I could think of, and that's pretty much it. No, they're just cool. Like a little ninja uses them. You can just take people out. You can do some real damage with them. I just think they're cool.
So I took a couple stripes in Kenjutsu when I was growing up, which is the samurai sword, and learning that, which I think is awesome. Nowhere near like the mastery. There's that girl from Japan who can, like, they put the wicker up and she cuts through the bales and then like cuts a. Did you see the one guy shoot the airsoft gun at the dude and he chops the airsoft BB out of the air? Fucking insane. There's a YouTube of this. Somebody shoots and he's like, Shing! And he shoot. Yeah, none of that.
Well, he goes into fucking Deadeye mode. Jesus.
He does. He's just like, everything slows down in my life.
That's amazing.
But for me, it would probably be that still. I would love to master that. I have a really good time. I still own a couple. Nunchucks
are you allowed
cool.
to own them?
I'm sorry?
Are you allowed to own them in America?
Oh, swords?
Samurai
Fuck
swords.
yeah, dude. I have so many swords. I probably have 15 swords.
We're not allowed to own a sword. No, we're not even allowed to own knives.
No shit. What? Wait, what? No, that doesn't make sense.
No. We are not allowed to carry in public a flick knife. That's illegal. You get arrested.
Oh, switchblade?
Yeah.
What about a stiletto where you push the button? You're all...
Anything that flicks or comes out automatically, you're not allowed. It cannot be an automatic blade, otherwise you're going to prison if you carry that in the street. So that's not the same for you, I assume.
We can buy anything, dude.
Oh,
Swords, broadswords. I've got absolutely everything you could possibly imagine.
Lucky motherfucker.
We got, let's see. I got swords. I got broadswords, axes, maces, bludgeons or bludgeons, depending on how you pronounce it. Yeah, you can carry swords in Texas out while walking around.
Really?
Who the fuck would do that?
Jesus.
Yeah, who would think that was a good idea?
Just walking around. Can you open carry shotguns in Texas as well?
Yeah, well, in Texas you can probably open carry a tank. I mean, it is Texas. I have no clues. But that is pretty crazy. No, we can have those kind of things. I don't know if you can walk around with a samurai sword with the blade out without somebody probably shooting a hole in you and then asking a question later. But I don't think that would be good. It's a good question. Thank you very much, Plague. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to go. But we've got some new shit to talk about.
Hype. Let's do this.
What?
I don't know what it is.
Here we go. You don't know any of these, and you're never going to know. This is a secret. I'm not even going to tell you what we're talking about.
Jesus.
See? You can't even handle your own room. It's a secret. You don't even know where you are. So how is this all going to work as he fucking falls apart in his entire... Banter Files, baby. Absolutely. Top of the line. He's always paying attention. Anyway, here we go.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yes.
What in the fuck do you think is up with the incredibly high number of people being tossed the fuck off cruise ships into the water to die?
I've never heard of this. What the fuck?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just yesterday, a musician for a band was tossed off an international, like, Caribbean cruise line to die. A wife a couple months ago. A kid a couple months before that. A man a couple months before that. One of the employees. They're just being tossed over. And they're dying because, of course, nobody on the boat can hear them. And it's a rash, man. I mean, it's like a huge deal. It's been happening all the time. You haven't heard about this?
As in murder? Like literally people just murdering people?
As in murder,
I thought you meant people wanting to be thrown off.
No. Jesus, shit. That wouldn't even be news. That'd just be funny. No, these are people who are... random shit is happening where, like, I don't know if somebody figured out, hey, this is the place to do it. Like, toss people off into the water and nobody will find out. One guy did it. The family found out. They had a camera somewhere and they saw him with his wife fighting. Another one was they're still investigating, but a girl was thrown over and they think she was fighting with crew and it might have been like a rape situation and she was tossed overboard. And of course to drown because there's just absolutely simply nothing that can be done. But can you imagine how frightening that would be, dude? You'd be out, even if it's the Pacific or something like that, so it's not like the Atlantic with the frigid cold water and all that kind of stuff, but just normal. And somebody grabs you just for the fuck of it, just being a dick, because we're all dicks at times, and just hooks your feet off. You fall, fucking 4 stories into this fucking water, and there you are, man. That's it.
That's weird. Maybe they're in international water and they're not scared of getting arrested.
It's not only it's happened in international and in normal, like even near.
Weird.
Yeah, isn't that creepy? No one's been found alive that I know of. As in anybody who's been thrown off, like a boat hasn't come along a month later and said, "We found fucking Joe Bob here. He's a little skinny, but he's fine." I think they all just drowned.
No, what's it? Tom Hanks moments on the island.
No, and dude, you know what I would do? I'd be the only guy on the cruise ship with one of those water wings around each arm and a fucking belly thing that like an inflatable. I'd be like, "Push me, bitch." I'd have an emergency beacon, and I'd just be like, "Come at me, motherfucker." Everywhere I went, I'd be in there in the casino throwing down at roulette with this water wings on. I'd be, "Excuse me."
I'd be watching the whole time, just like, who the fuck's going to try and push me?
Yeah, no shit. Just hip tossing people at all times. Just in case.
Yeah.
But,
that's crazy.
Kangan says there are still laws in international waters. Yes, they are. They're different. I don't think that's what takedown actually meant when he said that. Castaway Part 2, Plague Soul says, yeah, except this one is truly cast away. You're cast and then you're away, but the away part stays forever because you're dead. You're sunk to the bottom. You're eaten by fucking sharks. That
would have been a much less interesting film if he just got tossed over and then died.
Did you ever
read... he was in the plane, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was in a plane. Did you ever read or do you ever listen to or see any of the Deadliest Catch TV shows? You know what that is, right? Crab fisherman in Alaska?
I've seen the tuna one.
Documentary. Okay. So one of the creepiest stories I ever heard was a guy got a fish hook in his arm and the fish hook went into the water. And it was in the Atlantic and it pulled him in. And they knew he was in, so they're coming down to save him. But he was talking about what it was like to slowly feel the crushing depth as like it was the weight was pulling him down and seeing like the darkness and thinking this is it. Luckily, one of his pals jumped in and they figured out what happened. But coming from a fishing like town, every fucking year, there would be multiple funerals. Like it is the most dangerous job. Like it's insane. It's insane to do it. I have a friend who still does it. So what would he be? He would be 30. He'd be 45, 46. He's a couple years older than me, and he's still doing it. He's still fishing. They got balls of steel, man. There's no way. No fucking way. I mean, a rogue wave hits you and it flips you over, and you're like, well, okay, that's
so many variables in that shit.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
I want a job that I'm pretty much just stuck at my office, and if something bad happens, I know exactly what's occurring.
Low risk, low reward.
Yeah. I mean, because if somebody throws you off of your desk, unless you land on your neck, you're not castaway. You just stand up and then beat the shit out of them.
That's just a funny YouTube video.
Yeah, that's just something that you post on YouTube and pretend like it was all a joke, and then deep in the night you sneak into their house and beat
throws you off your desk. I'm trying to imagine that.
That never happened. So we have rolling desks at my old job, and people would lean on them, and you would put your foot on the leg across from them and push, and they'd fall down. It was just a thing. It's just a jackass.
Sounds mean as fuck. Jesus.
So
I'd leave that job. Fuck.
So, thank you very much for becoming a member of Team Awesome. You rock. I appreciate it there, sir. So, what the fuck is with the rash? Okay, remove that. Would you rather be shot or stabbed? We both figured out we'd probably lean towards the shooting. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's our final answer. All right. So we've got those, but I've got something even better. I've got something that is gonna change your life. It's called Funny Ask. It's just called Funny Questions to Ask Your Friends. Okay. And the first one that came up: if your 5-year-old self suddenly found themselves inhabiting your current body, what would your 5-year-old self do first? 5-year-old. You got to remember.
Oh,
so you haven't hit puberty unless you're me. I hit it at like 3.5. So yeah, your balls haven't dropped, haven't hit puberty, no beard, no fucking no.
But you have, because you're in the body of the person who has that now.
Okay, yeah, it's true, but you don't know what it's like to have those things. Okay, you're right. Okay, so your 5-year-old body, or your
apart from you, who does know because you've had it for 1.5 years.
Exactly. What would you do?
What would your so 5-year-old? You'd be like fucking Tom Hanks in Big. You'd be like some man-child. With
How old was Tom Hanks in Big when that Elizabeth Perkins actress was coming on to him, which was really creepy if you think about it?
It's like 13 or 9 or 10 around that age. Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't have gone for it.
Who wouldn't? Especially in a man's body, then it's questionable.
Yeah. Well, then it's a growth experience. But seriously, what would he do? Do you remember what
I
you were
don't
doing
know.
at the age of 5? I was still probably picking boogers and playing with Transformers. So
What
it
was I
would
doing at
s-
5?
it would be identical to what I am now. No one would
22 years
notice.
ago. I can't remember what I did last year, let alone 22
That
years.
is true. I am talking to the one person whose memory is basically nothing more than a fucking list of post-it notes on his computer to remind him to wake up.
That's true.
Okay, here we
I'm
go.
just
What
right.
inanimate object do you wish could be eliminated from existence? Also, my answer for the last question, I'd look at my dick.
I don't know if I would, because I wouldn't know what it is. I'd be curious as to why it's so small still. And I'd be like, is it
So
going to get
small
any
still.
bigger?
That's why I'd look at it. I'd be like, okay, man, I was 5. Did this thing suddenly get bigger? All right.
Like, no,
So,
it's the same size.
what
Yeah.
inanimate object do you wish would be eliminated from existence?
Don't know. That's a hard one. I don't have that much hatred for inanimate objects. I'm trying to.
Well, we'll get to the animate objects later.
Okay, that's easy. Oh my god, I can't think. I want to think of a good answer. Have you got an answer? I do not. I'm going to think, but
I do have an answer. So I have a permanently broken toe because of somebody playing jacks. Did you ever play jacks when you were a kid?
yeah.
The fucking caltrop motherfucking things, and you throw them up and you try to grab them. And I was running and stomped on one and it broke my pinky toe. I would demand that those be removed from existence because my toe still hurts. When you break a bone, a lot of times it'll still have like a weird ache to it. So I would suggest that for sure.
Okay.
If there was another inanimate object that I'd want to go away, it would fuck up the entire earth, and that would be like bedposts because I kick them when I'm getting up or moving, and you smash your shin on something. But if that happened, nobody'd have any beds anymore, so it wouldn't really make a lot of sense for everybody. But I don't think anybody plays jacks anymore. But I'd still have them removed.
I've got jacks. I've got a set here somewhere.
You have a set of jacks? The
Yeah,
fuck are you
jacks
for?
and
Are you sure a 5-year-old didn't inhabit your current body? What do you have jacks for at your house? What other creepy shit do you have?
I've got jacks and I've got pickup sticks.
Okay, here we go. Here's a great question not on the list. Person shows up at your house.
Yes.
Goes into your room without you. What's the first creepiest thing they see? Something they would identify as creepy.
I don't know. It depends. If it was like
if it's me, a normal person, versus you, a weirdo.
If you saw my video game collection, you wouldn't think it's weird, but someone else might. So if it's you, that wouldn't be, because I've got like 500 games on my shelf.
That would not be.
To a lot of people, that would be, but that's not the good answer. All my statues of my Dragon Ball Z characters, maybe. Don't know.
Your man statues, your man shoes.
my Hero Clicks collection, my Dragon Ball cards.
So you don't have anything creepy just laying out?
No, not. I don't have any like used dildos on the floor.
Is it all hidden then? Is that what you're admitting? Because you said
no, everything. I've got nothing in my room. No places in my room to hide stuff. My room's just got TV, consoles, games, films.
What the fuck? Are you like a slave or something? Were you purchased and you're just not given a place of your own to store shit?
No, because everything's like open storage. I don't have drawers and stuff to put stuff in because I always lose stuff. Like the cables.
What do you mean like open storage? A fucking black paper bag?
No, just on shelves.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So like everything I have is video games and stuff that I can shelve.
So nothing creepy. So if somebody came in here, the creepiest thing they would see is probably the large number of spiders that are in my room.
Spiders.
So I won't kill spiders. I'll take them outside, which I found out only recently probably kills them because they're very temperature sensitive. But I hate killing spiders because I like what they do. And so occasionally a spider will be in here long enough that like my wife will be all, seriously, let's get rid of that fucker. I mean, like the dude's this big, he's up in the corner just eyeing you at night. And I'm like, well, he'll kill some flies, so we should probably keep him. But I think at some point you're going to end up hearing about me having a giant facial wound from a fucking huge tarantula sucking on my face because I wouldn't kill it.
Yeah, I don't think that's that weird, to be honest. I know loads of people that don't take spiders, I just leave them. I've got loads in my lounge.
Wait, what the fuck's the lounge?
Oh, it's our living room.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you guys call it a lounge?
Yeah, because we lounge in there like this. Lounge.
Aren't you lounging right now?
Yeah, but this isn't my lounge room.
On the other hand, you don't live in the living room anyway, so it's not the proper name, no matter what.
Exactly.
So this probably won't work for you, but I'm going to ask anyway. What are some unwritten rules of where you work? I guess for Twitch, let's say we take YouTube and Twitch as the job.
If that was my job, you'd have to use the word job so lightly.
I don't know. I know some fucking pretty bad workers, bro.
True. No, not in terms of bad. In terms of the little stuff I do on there.
Yeah.
It's like I'd be going to work once a month or something.
Unwritten rule. Any?
I can speak of a job I did have when I used to work in the warehouse.
Go for it.
It wasn't a written rule, but it was like no it's a standard rule, no fraternizing with opposites, members of sex, or no like dating.
Oh, gotcha. I think that's an unwritten rule everywhere. Broke it tons of times when I was younger. Constantly broke it because I'm a big believer in like, how the fuck do you know who you're gonna like for the rest of your life? Like, I'm not gonna let this job control me. Ended devastatingly bad every time. So obviously there might be some truth to it. Let's see. What kind of cult would you like to start? I don't even know if I want to know this answer.
Well, no, something like Scientology, I think. One that makes a lot of money.
Oh, just a ton of cash. Maybe a nicer Scientology where you're just getting the money, but you're not really being the jack off that the rest of them are.
Yeah, or just one that completely fucks idiot people over and still gets you a ton of money.
So
just to prey on stupid people.
So we were talking about talking about other game awards because there's other game awards, people who've been giving out game awards, stuff like that. Did you disagree with any of the awards in the Game Awards show? Like vehemently disagree?
Red Dead 2 best soundtrack or best music.
No shit. What would you have chosen?
Yeah. Not Far Cry 5.
Didn't like the music from that? God, I love it.
That's just a little dig at some YouTuber who did a video earlier. I don't know. Someone in the Discord was saying how they don't really listen to music when they're playing a game, and I don't really listen to it when I'm playing it. It doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. I go more by voice acting because I appreciate the voice acting in games, but I don't really listen to the sounds of music. Forza, maybe. I like the soundtrack in Forza.
Do you? You're a fan of that?
Yeah, I like the songs they chose. Yeah.
For me, I don't think I really disagreed with anything. I mean, I disagreed with like Monster Hunter being in the list, but here's Game Sutra. This is interesting. This is Game Sutra's best of 2018. Now, this is the top 10 game developers of the year. Game developers of the year. 11-bit studios. They made This War of Mine and they made Frostpunk. Would you agree? Do they
Frostpunk?
Deserve
Frostpunk
to be on this
was
list?
reviewed averagely, and everyone I've spoken to said it was very two-dimensional and not very long-lasting in terms of its gameplay, fun, and all the loops and everything. And then This War of Mine, is that the one in the panels, kind of like?
Yeah. And you're trying to like keep everybody alive and shit in a war-torn. Where
I wasn't a fan of that. I felt like the setting for that game gave it more popularity than it deserved, just because it was dealing with a hard subject.
Okay.
Which gave it more popularity than it deserved because people didn't want to say nasty things.
This isn't scored like it's number one. It's just in the list. Yes or no deserves to be in that list for you?
No, neither.
Okay.
Oh, no, the developer, no.
The developer, no. All right, next one. Insomniac Games, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'd say they do.
Just for Spider-Man? Keep that mic on. Why, is somebody screaming in the background? Now you're mic'd, so we can't hear you anyway, just so you know. You pushed it again.
You can listen to the background.
Who gives a shit?
There you go.
Insomniac, yeah.
Insomniac, what else have they done this year?
But well, maybe not this year, but Insomniac as a whole, I mean, nailed Spider-Man enough that I think they showed the superhero game could be made by somebody that wasn't called Rocksteady.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I would agree with that. Okay, here's another one. Lucas Pope, who is the developer behind Papers, Please, as well as the Obra Dinn.
Obra Dinn?
The green one, the newspaper-looking one.
I didn't play that.
Okay. Do you remember?
So I can't really say, but
Papers,
I know people
Please,
spoke highly
you
of
played,
it.
right?
Papers, Please, I played. I didn't really enjoy it.
Ooh, really? Why is that?
It just felt, because I played, that game I played yesterday, Beholder 2. I thought that was similar to Papers, Please in a lot of respects in the job aspect, but done better with a better story, more gameplay. I thought Papers, Please was a bit dimensional and 2D, a bit generic and 2D, two-dimensional.
Okay, here we go. You ready for a contentious one? And I'm going to read
Yes.
you. This is from Game of Sutra so that you understand it. Microsoft. And they said, the reason Microsoft once again landed itself on Game of Sutra into the year list is the company's powerful push for accessibility and inclusion in video games. This year, Microsoft released the Xbox Adaptive Controller as an official first-party answer to a long-standing need for far more accessible ways for people to play. The Xbox Adaptive Controller itself offers 2 large face buttons, blah, 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 blah.
So what's the actual title of the award called? Best?
This is the top 10 developers. It doesn't say hardware or software.
Oh, so it doesn't say best developer,
Right.
as in games. Okay.
And if you guys are in chat and you feel free to disregard or disagree or agree. What do you think of that though?
I mean, as a developer, is that a developer's decision?
It is hardware.
Or is that
developers,
Microsoft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They choose that. That is technically them.
So if it's technically a developer and them are top 10 developers, I mean, the stuff we've done with Games Pass and stuff, yeah, I'd agree.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree if you add it all together. I would say the accessibility, I would say Games Pass is amazing for gamers as a whole. It's just awesome. The accessibility controller, though, is unbelievable. As somebody who knows people have issues of those kinds, to allow somebody, and many being ex-gamers, a lot of military people having, damage from war, that kind of thing, and being able to jump back into games, which they like a lot. I think it's fantastic. I think the more you get in there, the better it is. But Kangalanga Gang, something like that, says the irony of Microsoft winning that in the year that Sony has so many exclusive games. Well, they didn't win. It's a top 10 list. So we'll get to that. Murder Fist, thank you very much for subscribing. Also, anybody else, if you get a chance to subscribe to myself or Takedown, that would be very appreciated. Takedown's trying to get a start on this little thing called Twitch.
Yes.
We're trying to help him. We understand that his natural look and just ability makes it very difficult for you to want to stare at him for very long, but please do.
I'd agree with that.
I'd agree with that. I'm just joking. All right. Sub to say that I love...
/ takedown KD. There we go. I'm just putting that in there.
Look at that. Somebody says, sub to say I loved Frostpunk. Oh, and to support.
Wait a minute. So if I come up with an opinion, you get more subs because people disagree with me and they want to tell you, oh, right.
They may. Yeah. They may.
What else sucks?
All right, here we go. Motion Twin, Dead Cells, as well as I believe they did Celeste. I could be wrong. I'm looking here.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Actually, find out what they did.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just Dead Cells.
What are they called?
They are called Motion Twin. What do you think of that?
Motion Twin. Let's have a look.
And again, whatever anybody thinks, also get a chance if you can, spread it around, ask some questions, so we get some interaction.
Nope. They have only ever developed Dead Cells.
Oh, well then.
No. No, it couldn't be. They've been founded in 2001, so that can't be true. It says here the only product on their list is Dead Cells. I mean, if we're basing it on Dead Cells, I wasn't a fan of Dead Cells.
What do you mean?
I still say yes. I wasn't a fan of it. The whole permadeath thing I don't like. Plus, I didn't like... I prefer Sundred, which is similar.
All right. The next one is one that I don't think either one of us know. They're called Mountains, and they did... is the developer behind Florence, an interactive story about a young woman falling in love.
Never heard of that.
No? Okay.
No.
Nintendo EPD. They're the ones who made Labo.
No. Bye. Next.
Sony Santa Monica. They are, of course, God of War.
So they're saying Sony, not Sony Santa Monica, not Sony.
They
so
did just say Sony Santa Monica, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. And they made God of War. Nothing else this year, I don't think.
No, nothing else this year.
I'd agree then, because that's a lot of people's game of the year, and I loved it.
Well, here we go. Here's your next one then. Ubisoft Quebec, which was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yes, 100%. Second game of the year, that one.
Second game of the year. Well, here's the crazy thing. Guess what's not on here?
If it's not Rockstar, then that list doesn't even count.
Rockstar. They're not on there.
Why? Why would they not be on there for making the best game this generation? Jesus.
I don't know. They may have... I don't know. They may have felt that... I don't know. I don't even want to give an answer because I don't know. What list is this is being asked? That is Game of Sutra's best of 2018, the top 10 developers of the year. So, not a political. Could it be political that Red Dead is not on there? I don't know.
Maybe they're not a fan of them, or they've got problems with them as a site. I don't know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it could be that.
Yeah. I'm also posting my YouTube channel in the chat, Mr. Takedown KD, just to
bother and annoy everybody.
Yeah, I don't want YouTube to get missed out on. It's the best place in the world apart from Twitch. Is there any more on the list?
Nope, that's it for that particular list.
Oh, have they got more lists? Because I like doing this. This is fun.
So here's what's weird, and I want to talk about this. Everybody does reviews. Everybody does reviews of movies, music differently, and I think that's the way it should be. And of course, you're always going to get someone in that industry saying, "I'm the only one who does it right." Yeah, ignoring that fucking stupid thing. Giant Bomb does a thing called Game of the Year deliberations, and they're on day 3. I think they're on day 4 now. 5-hour discussions, 5 hours apiece. Okay, so my question to you is that how Game of the Year, do you see how Game of the Year being given? Is that how you see it being given, by a group consensus?
I've seen 6 Game of the Year. I've seen lists this year: Game of the Year, Graphics of the Year, Worst Games of the Year, which are my favorite lists, by the way. Worst Games, love that. And all the ones I've seen are from channels that I follow that are all of the team from that channel. So say you had 6 people on your staff, it would be you and all of them coming to a consensus of one of you talking about the game and telling what everyone agreed on.
Okay.
That's the ones I've seen most of.
So you agree with it? You're okay with that kind of thing?
I'm okay with that, but then I'm okay with someone doing it on their own opinion without a whole team.
Yeah.
It just depends how that company works.
The thing that bothers me is I don't really... let's say you and I got together and we started talking about games, and I liked something about a game and you didn't. I feel like there would be a chance of you talking me down. Where, well, maybe not, because I'm pretty egotistical about it. Like, I usually know what I like. I'm usually pretty solid. And you're usually pretty solid.
Yeah.
But let's say we're with another group, right? Let's say we get some people in there. I also wouldn't want to push them as well into something that they didn't truly feel and experience at the time. It's just odd to me. And as OJXN says, Giant Bomb also has their staff's Game of the Year list. That is true. This is more about the deliberations. I just wanted to see what people think about grouping together, having those kind of discussions, and if those discussions they find exactly why. Because to me, it's just 5 hours of blathering, and not against them. Ignore that they're doing it. Say anybody. It's 5 hours of blathering back and forth, and I think at some point you fall apart. Like you begin reiterating the same topics. You begin saying the same things, and I could be wrong on this.
Yeah.
The ones I've watched that did happen, but I'm just always a little nervous that would happen. Like, let's say I decided to say we're going to do a Banter Files Game of the Year. I feel that after a while we'd both be, if we didn't agree, because I think we do. But if we didn't agree, we'd
Game of the Year, I think we agree on.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not saying mine, but I think overall, or we're within the top 3. I'll say that. I think.
Yeah, I think most people are this year. That's the cool thing about it. A lot of the games overlap a lot with a lot of people.
Right. Did you see anything that got a ton of support that surprised you and you didn't like and didn't feel at all like it should have been on any list or
just this year or any year?
Let's try to go with 2018.
Okay, because if it was 2017, I think you know why.
Yeah, but 2018, what would be a game that you're like, why is this on the list? And if people describe it to you, you're still like, why is this on the list? And anybody in Twitch chat, if you have any, or in Discord chat, feel free.
Well, I think we both agree with the official Game of the Year awards, Monster Hunter World being on the RPG. I think that's one we both agree on. Why is that on that list?
Why is that on the list? It's a very, right.
That's one, right. But I can't think of any other games. 2017 had a lot of that, but 2018 for me doesn't have much of that, really.
So, for me, 2018, I would say it definitely comes up where some of these games are a little odd, like Frostpunk, where if you play Frostpunk with multiple people around you, like you're talking to them, you find out that a lot of the flexibility that is pushed isn't really as flexible as it appears to be. It's actually like there's certain decisions that sort of almost need to be made by everybody to see a success in a certain way.
Yeah.
Those kind of things don't bother me, though. Those are the small ones. It's the big ones when... Sorry, my dog's barking like a son of a bitch out here. It's the big ones for me, like Celeste. I think there were so many other indie games that were fantastic that Celeste somehow took them over. And then Gris came out and wasn't even on half people's lists. Like
That's
it wasn't even on their lists.
Hmm.
So I mean, does
Yeah, I mean,
any of those you agree with?
I like Celeste, but to be honest, I prefer some.
Sorry.
Okay.
Could you hear me scream that?
I thought you were talking to me. I was joking.
No, I tried to
I know
cover
you
it
weren't.
up. Anyway, continue.
You tried to cover it up, and it sounded exactly the same as if you didn't cover.
No shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it was just you going, "Shut up."
Sorry about
that. Celeste, I liked, but I don't know why it's on Game of the Year. I'll be honest with you. The more I've played it, the more I've thought to myself, this is an above average platformer, but it's not the greatest platformer of the year.
Okay.
Like, Sunder, did that come out this year or last year?
Last year. But Sunder did the early access thing.
So was the official release this year?
I think officially it was this year. Officially.
Because I think Sunder is 1,000 times better than most of the games in that genre I played.
Yeah, you liked it.
I think that game is truly fantastic.
Yeah, you liked it a lot. I know that.
It is absolutely stunning. That game is beautiful. So well made. But no, Celeste, I think is overhyped. I don't know why it got so much traction. That's quite strange for an indie game as small as that to be on Game of the Year as well. It's never really happened.
Was there gameplay? So with Gris, the problem I had, and I didn't play a ton, but the problem I had was it was pretty, but a lot of the puzzles were just inane. Is Celeste got a lot of gameplay?
Oh, Celeste is like Super Meat Boy in terms of its difficulty in gameplay.
Okay, I can see.
It's a proper, hard, difficult platformer.
When you say Celeste to me, do you know what I think of? I think of Catherine. Catherine?
Catherine?
Catherine, yeah. That's
the puzzle game.
Yeah, but the one that
I love that game.
But that's what I think of. That's what I think of for some reason. I gotta go. I
love that game. No, Celeste is very, very. It's pure gameplay. Like there's nothing else to it. There's no cutscenes. There's a good story, but it's just pure hard gameplay. Like it's one of the hardest games I've ever played.
OGXN says Celeste has super good platforming. Okay.
Oh yeah, the platforming is on point. It's almost perfect. But apart from that, I don't know why it's on a Game of the Year list. Because, I mean,
let's do this.
Year,
Top 10, but we don't have to come up with 10. 10 shitty games of the year. 10 of the most terrible games. Here we go. 10 of the most terrible games of the year. Let's do this.
Oh god, I need a list. I can't remember half.
No, we gotta come up with. You just gotta sort of come up with it.
Well, I'm not going to do them in any particular order. It's just going to be 10 because I can't bother.
And it doesn't have to even be 10. If you want to go 1 and then I go 1, we can do that too.
Okay, let's do that. As long as I don't have to rank them, because then I really have to think about each game. So 10. Monster Hunter World I'd put on that list for me.
Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter World for me.
What? Why?
I didn't like that game at all. I've never liked Monster Hunter, and this one was a promise of being more accessible for noobs and people who were not players, and I just found it to be.
So you're saying to me you think it's in your top 10 worst games?
It's the only one that came into my head so far. I've played most of the games this year, to be honest.
Okay.
That's one of my biggest disappointments of the year, I'd say. So for me, it would be...
Okay, so biggest... Okay, so for you, because you don't play as many games as me, I'll allow biggest disappointment then. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
So biggest disappointment. For me, it starts out easily. Guys, don't get this game. Starts out with a game called The Station, a Sony exclusive. I think at the time might also be PC.
Oh, is that the FMV one?
Yeah. No. But it is. It's walking around and experiencing shit on a space station. Just absolutely had a lot of development going for it. Had a lot of people talking about it. You jump in there, you're like, okay, man, we're gonna see if this is any good. And wow, was it not? It was really everything that you did not expect in a game that people were excited for. It just was not enjoyable. So we'll go with disappointing as well. That was highly disappointing to me. Rated a do not get at all, don't touch. There was nothing about it that was even worth. You know how like an experience game, even Batman. I bitch about Batman, the experience game all the time for VR. There's still something there. This had nothing.
Yeah.
Cat Sleeve says best gameplay mechanic this year or top 3. I'll write that down. We're doing top 10 most disappointing games right now, but I'll put that down. Okay, your turn next.
It's hard to answer because I tend to have a good like radar of games I know I wouldn't want. So I tend not to play ones I know I'm going to think is shit.
Okay, top number one way in which Karak let you down this year on a review.
Oh, I'd have to watch your reviews to know that.
Oh shit, you'd have to actually be a part of the community to actually know that.
No, I watch your reviews. Don't worry.
Because there's been a couple games where you've been like, "What the fuck was he thinking?" Here we go.
I've just got a message from someone in Discord telling me a game that I just remembered is probably on the list.
What?
Fallout 76. I just forgot about that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that would be one for me. That's kind of, it feels like cheating though, because that's on everyone's list apart from Norwegian Imposter.
Yeah, that's sort of, well, and it wasn't on your list at first. Metal Gear Survive looked awful. It was awful. And there were people that I swear to shit they were getting paid for that. Whatever. Like, I don't even want to get into that. But it felt like they were getting paid.
Yeah. I need to have a look at the game.
Don't cheat. Don't look at your fucking Discord. People can't be messaging you on Discord. Close that shit down.
It's gone.
Okay, it's gone.
Oh, my cam's turned off. No.
Okay, so you gave yours. All right, that was another game. For me, Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
It was I don't think people expected it to be as dire as it was. I think people were wondering, but that game was absolutely stunningly disappointing. Other than graphics. Would you not agree? Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, that would probably be my next one, I would say, because that game I played for an hour and I never went back. I never had any urge to go back, and I do with a lot of games.
Yeah, but didn't those motherfuckers on Discord lock you in a jail and then see why you were locked in a jail?
They Slave Reg and some other twat locked me in a jail for like 30 minutes in game time.
Yeah, that's a good way to get people to fucking want to return to your game.
Yeah, and to want to return to those players.
Yeah, fuckers. Right. Okay,
Jesus.
so we'll agree on that.
That's mine. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. See, I can't remember when games came out. Because 2017 and 18 for me is I can't remember.
Kanga Kang says, was Destiny 2 this year?
If Destiny 2 was this year, then that's definitely one. But I don't think it was.
I don't think it was. It feels like Destiny 2 was in the fall of last year.
September last year. I'm not Googling games, I'm just Googling release dates.
Okay, here we go. I'll give you another one. Extinction. That game.
Okay, I never played that.
Extinction's the one you always hear Absy talking about, teasing me about having to play. Extinction was just devastatingly disappointing. It was disappointing in its gameplay. It was disappointing in everything that they told you could do. It was the Attack on Titan ripoff, basically.
Oh, that one.
That you always hear us talk about. Murderfist says, Warhammer Inquisitor had me super disappointed. I've not got a chance to try that. So, do you have another one?
Oh, God.
I can tell you one. That's yours.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because all I got nothing but a never-ending line of shit from you for liking it. And that's Captain Spirit, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
God, no, that's not even a game. That doesn't count. Jesus Christ, that little shit. I wanted to punch him so many times. Child abuse has never been on the forefront of my mind until I played that game. Jesus Christ.
It's so funny because why?
He was such an obnoxious little shit. It's like, oh, my dad's an alcoholic and my mum left. He's like, get over it. Fucking... I don't know.
Are you the guy that expects every child to have a Conan grain wheel in his backyard and just pushing the Conan grain wheel? Just just go and
enjoy yourself. Just don't make me play as you, Jesus.
All right.
I know another. I know one for you, but I'm going to see if you say it. Can we just say it for you?
Yes.
Okay. Life is Strange 2.
I was not going to say that until later, but yes, Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange
Spoilers.
2. Dude, no, Life is Strange 2 is utterly disappointing. And also, FYI, it was on a Game Awards list somewhere for something. And there's nothing on that game, nothing in that first episode that is anything other than poorly written, straightforward drivel from some fucking 13-year-old's notebook.
Yeah. See, you saved me from that because I haven't played it because you and Johnny said that. Dude,
that game, you're just sitting there playing it going like, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened with the subtlety? What happened with the moments of respite? The idea of nice nostalgia? Even though you didn't
I don't want to ruin my memory.
Awesome.
I don't want to ruin my memory of the amazing game with Chloe and...
Yeah, because I know you're a big fan. So the one I was going to mention was Far Cry 5's Lost on Mars DLC.
Oh, yeah.
And the DLC...
Oh, if we're including DLC, then that's 3 slots done.
No shit, right? Well, you didn't do Vietnam, though, right? Or did you do Vietnam?
Vietnam, I didn't mind. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. But then Mars is where it took the piss and became just unbelievable.
Yeah. If anybody gets a chance, spread the word that we're doing this. We're almost at 70 viewers, which I think will be one of the highest for us.
Jeez.
So I definitely appreciate it. Let's get more people jumping in here. So, worst games, worst DLC, Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars, absolutely one of the worst. Far Cry 5 Lost on Mars was a poorly done mod. What I mean by that is you and I could have done Lost on Mars with a little bit of time and some shitty texture work. Like
in Adobe somehow.
Yeah. Its cost was good because I gave it a wait for a sale, not even a wait for a deep sale. Actually, I might have given that one a wait for a deep sale. But they failed stunningly on their DLC for Far Cry.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of Far Cry 5, and I still feel that the dump was dramatic. Were you a fan of Far Cry 5? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting this.
The main game, I mean, it was all right. It wasn't anything special. Another.
Okay. And more fun with friends, right?
Yeah, better with friends.
All right. Gene Rain is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Gene Rain. Guys, if you guys want to know, so one of the reasons why, and I've got shit for this, people will be like, Karak gave this game a wait for a deep sale and not a never touch. Like, why? Why? Is because a game like Gene Rain inhabits the never touch. Otherwise, you can say, wait for a deep sale is $5, and some games are worth $5 despite our dislike of them. Gene Rain is not. Gene Rain is not worth 35 cents. Gene Rain is not worth 5 cents. Gene Rain is, I actively want my money back for my time for playing that. It is that bad. That is the kind of game that gets a never touch. They're just stunningly fucking bad. Did you see the video for that? If you didn't, it's fine.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, you're a complete liar. You haven't watched any of the reviews. But
I've seen like 2. Okay.
Yeah, when there's a log that you're hiding behind, and when you hide behind it, your character is easily that far away. And I mean in game, not my hands, but I mean in the game. When you're looking at the game, you're that far away, and you're pretending to be crouched against it. It's just terrible, man. Yeah. It's just terrible. It's terrible in every way, shape, or form.
I need to play it sometime.
What about This Is the Police? 2.
For the second one.
The second one. Did you not touch that because you didn't like This Is the Police?
I didn't touch it because the first one put me to sleep. Put me in a grip and never let go of sleep.
I think you're just mean.
No, that's so boring. Text adventure. That's all it was.
What did you not like about it? I mean, they still had stories. They had like big voice actors. They had Geralt in there, I think.
Oh, really? Oh, it's Game of the Year now.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, what did you not like about This Is the Police 1 when it first came? We're at 70 viewers, 71 viewers. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. That's fucking awesome.
Imagine if all 70 followed me. Oh.
Imagine if you watched the reviews so you could talk intelligently about what I'm talking about. That would be amazing. Let's not go too far, though. Right? Let's not push this into the realms of science fiction.
That's true.
So let's ignore This Is the Police. Let's
ignore that piece of shit.
No, let's sit down and let's discuss a game that you liked parts of and so did I. But let's decide if it should be on the top 10 most disappointing because we're at 6 already. We Happy Few.
Okay. No, that would be on my top 10 game of the year list. Not even joking. I really enjoyed that game. I had more fun with that game than this year. We'd have to have opposite lists for that one. Karak's so impressed right now. He's gone into a coma.
What the fuck? Why?
You know how much I enjoyed that game.
It doesn't. Why? Dude, that game's got issues from fucking start to finish. How did you, a person who's consistently bitching about every little technical hang-up that's fucking humanly possible to run into?
Yeah.
How did you what was it about We Happy Few that made you go, this is magic?
I loved the characters for a start. For some reason, I just felt like I really was in that world. I loved the world, the environment, world building. I thought was pretty good with all the joy machines, all the different districts, and all the different people and factions that acted in those districts. I thought the story was good. I actually enjoyed the gameplay loop of having to know if you were going to take joy or not, and how far you.
I love the animation.
The little happy walk.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
All of that together made a good game for me. To be honest, I love the characters. The guy at the end, the Scottish guy, I loved him.
Scottish guy. Who was your favorite character? Scottish guy.
Scottish guy or the hot little woman?
Yeah, mine was probably the girl as well because you play as Arthur, right? Arthur's the first one. You play as Arthur and you don't really know what's going on, and then you start playing as her and you already start getting a couple story beats there. But I think you're completely wrong. I don't see how any human could ever put that on the top. So you're saying you'd put it in a top 10 games you played this year list? You'd put We Happy Few next to Spider-Man. That is like seating you next to Nicole Kidman. It's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen. And if it does, people will go, what the fuck?
I am basically Keith Urban, so it should happen.
Yeah, well, the drug use, maybe. So seriously, top 10, your top 10 game of the year, you're saying We Happy Few's in there.
What We Happy Few's probably number 10.
No.
I'll print it out. I'll do a YouTube video and get 1 million likes and views, and people were like, "Yes, finally someone put We Happy Few at number 10."
All right.
So it's going to be in your top 10 worst games.
Swift Turtle says, I just spilled a pitcher of water or a pitcher of iced tea when Takedown said this shit. That Swift Turtle subscribed. You rock, sir. Thank you very much for subscribing.
See, I got you another subscriber just to talk shit about me. See?
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, and then he'll leave right away because he'll be like, dude, he lets him on the podcast, even though it's our podcast. They'll still be like, obviously,
I let you on this.
One of these guys knows what they're talking about. The other one is completely full of shit.
This is Karak the guest. I pay for his house with this shit. This makes him so much money. Anyway,
we got. Yeah, I wish. We got Call of Cthulhu, which admittedly you have not played because of my review, I believe.
But I'm going to put it on my top 10 game of the year. I'm joking.
Oh, fucking shut up. You're
like, okay. I bought it though, despite your review. I still bought it.
No, you bought it prior to the review, bro.
Oh, that's true.
Remember?
Yeah. I haven't played. Yeah.
Don't try to pretend like you're all fucking, I'm anti-Karak when in real life you already bought that shit. Swift Turtle says it's like a yin yang of bullshit. It is. It is.
No, do people not believe that We Happy Few is genuine? I'm not taking the piss or annoying Karak. It's genuinely on my top 10 games of the year list. 100%. Like, I'm not bullshitting.
I still don't. I actually don't believe you.
Everything I say might be sarcastic because of my British accent, but I seriously love. I told you how much I love that game.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Thank you very much for becoming a follower, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for spreading the word. We're at 80 watchers. Jeez, that's easily the highest we've been. I think 40 of those are probably bots, all paid for by Takedown. But regardless, appreciate it. Spread the word.
At least half of those are from my Twitter.
So here's the problem with Call of Cthulhu is I've shown you this. It's just a press button, press A simulator. You just press an A. Everything you're experiencing is with the A button. And it just doesn't work. Get off your Tinder. We're talking. And to me, it just, what are you looking at? What the fuck is that?
Oh shit, she broke, don't worry.
Did you just break it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a statue from Assassin's Creed. Her head came off.
Her head came off?
Yeah, and her body.
Kangaleng says it's a waste of an IP. We Happy Few.
We Happy Few's
Call of Duty. He's talking about Call of Cthulhu. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
I can agree with that. But We Happy Few isn't.
Call of Cthulhu will hopefully be replaced by Sinking City here soon, and we're going to see a big shocker there with Sinking City. I'll say another one of mine that is a big disappointment, though not Crater-like, really was Darksiders 3, man. I was telling you about Darksiders 3 even when I was reviewing it. I was just like, man, this game, it's not as fun. It's not as flexible. Its shit doesn't make sense. Like they say... Here's what always pisses me off. Whenever a developer says, it's a fully explorable world. Well, no, it's fucking not, because it's caged off via all your weapons that you have to collect by going and doing exactly what they fucking want. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that kind of gameplay. Instead, I would rather have them just said, it's an open hub title that's got a little bit of Dark Souls rubbed into it, and just go from there. Otherwise, it disturbs me. So that is 8. We have 2 more.
What other games did I like?
Battlefield 5 would be a disappointment for me.
Okay.
I think it's getting much better now, but Battlefield 5, when it first came out, single-player stories were worse somehow than the single-player stories from last year's.
We missed out on one big one.
What?
Below.
Oh, Jesus.
Missed that completely.
Yeah, Below is disappointing as fuck. Below's disappointing not necessarily because there's bad gameplay, but that is the worst idea for a view scheme I've ever seen. That makes Obra Dinn look easy on the eyes. Like that is, I remember when we were all playing it in the stream and me just going, what the fuck? Like the guy is that fucking big fighting squirrels for hours. Elephant says Tomb Raider was a disappointment. I'd like to know in what way, because I think I could agree with that. I think there was less enemies. It certainly felt less shooty than Rise.
Yeah,
Less
way less combat.
way and less exploratory than Rise. So I can agree with that. I like the game, but I can agree with that. Takedown, did you beat that game?
Oh well, yeah, I beat the shit out of that game. It had the same amount of tombs and crypts as the game before, but it didn't feel like as many, which is weird. It was exactly the same.
Was that good for you? As in,
no, I wanted more because that's my favorite part of those games.
Yeah, dude, Rise of the Tomb Raider. That time you go into Rise of the Tomb Raider and you find that galleon, the first of the pseudo hidden, what are they called? Just tombs, I think, is secret tombs.
Yeah, tombs.
And you find it, and you have to figure out your way up. And I was hooked, man. I was hooked on that side stuff. It's one of those games, a little like Witcher 3. I didn't like the main story near as much as the side stories. And
the main story was generic. Yeah,
and in Rise,
in the third one as well. Yeah,
in the third one, and in Rise, it was more about the side stuff. I liked Shadow personally. I think Rise is hard to get to, but a lot of people here are saying they didn't enjoy Tomb Raider at all, which means they probably blame me.
Sorry. Yeah, that's the go-to.
Go-to, blame me, man. Blame me. Be like, Karak was absolutely paid and was lying. I actually had somebody just attack me very harshly because I gave a game a wait for a deep sale. And I was like, do you think some company would be smart the fuck enough or dumb enough to basically be like, man, we really want to pay this person to shit on our game for a full 15 minutes?
Could be a fetish.
It could be a fetish.
Game developer fetish.
Maybe that's what it is. We've got one more. So we added below. I
know one you might want to put.
What?
It's not for me. So it's two. There's two options. Let's see which one we can agree on. Right. So you've got Ashen and you've got Mutant Year Zero. There's two that I think you would maybe want to put one of them on.
Man, is this not creepy that if we had been doing this podcast last December or February, we would be saying those are the games we were looking the most forward to?
Exactly. They had so much potential.
I think Ashen's multiplayer, Ashen as single player is probably a fun game and enjoyable. Ashen's multiplayer, which is what I was trying to do, was abysmal. So, man, that's close.
I think the fact that Mutant Year Zero hasn't got multiplayer is abysmal, to be honest.
And Mutant Year Zero, oh yeah, somebody says, totally, Mutant had me super stoked, then I played it, ... Dude, here's the thing about Mutant Year Zero, too, is you're playing it and everything's fine. And a lot of people who reviewed the first fucking 5 hours and didn't give a fair shake to the game. And by fair, I mean even if it turns out bad for it. As you continue to play the game, shit gets pretty crazy, and suddenly everybody's doing the same exact fucking thing to get to certain parts, and you lose the flexibility. You lose the very thing the game is pushing. To me, it's just absolutely unacceptable. I would put those games on disappointing, yeah. So not bad games. Thank you very much for becoming a member of Team Awesome there, Titan. But yeah, good.
Do you think it softens the blow, the fact they're on Games Pass, though, at least?
Yeah, I mean, Games Pass. So let's look at a game that you and I like, but know has problems. State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
It's on Games Pass and has done stunningly well and has DLC and is going to be supported for a long time, right? Because it's on Games Pass. Mm-hmm. Smart way to do it's a multiplayer game. Here's the difference, though, Takedown. The multiplayer mostly works in State of Decay 2. It does not work very well in Ashen. So that will be interesting to see if 6 months down the line, how that sort of pans out. Also, the fuck up where they took it off the Windows Store and moved it onto the Epic Store because Epic's throwing a bunch of money to people, that also fucks things up. So
it does.
It's going to be very interesting. I also want to tell everybody here, also make sure to tune in on Friday morning, 6 a.m. That is correct. 6 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time. That's early for me. Some of you guys might be really happy I'm doing it at this time, but we are having developers come on the podcast. We're doing a special podcast just for them, basically called What Developers Thought of 2018. We're going to be talking about games that surprise them and impress them and so forth. So yeah, I think that's it for us for bad games. What about amazing and shocking games? What game shocked you the most? I have an answer I'm going to give for you once you give your answer.
Shocking as in good, bad?
Good.
Shocking, good. So surprise. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, to be honest.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Thank you much, Common Bert, for subscribing. Really?
Coming from Origins, which I didn't like as much.
Okay.
Going to Odyssey, which became my second favorite game of the year.
That I think that's a perfectly legit answer. Do you know the one I thought you were going to give though was? But I guess it shouldn't be a surprise. But Lego Villains, because you couldn't shut up about that.
Oh, so good! Best Lego game ever made.
So compare it to
Best
Avengers.
Lego game.
Why is it the best game ever made?
Mark Hamill, Clancy Brown,
Voice
Kevin
acting.
Conroy. Voice acting had legit voice actors in it. Actual voice actors that I grew up with listening to in the cartoons. That's one of the main reasons. Plus, I really like the story. I think they added create your own character into the story perfectly. Like, it didn't fit out of place, because usually in a game you'll get to create a character with other characters that are well known in it.
Yeah.
This felt perfect. It just fit so well. I love this. I love the fact you play both sides at certain points. And
Kanga Logan says, I enjoyed Bard's Tale 4 more than I thought I would, since I didn't play it till after loads of patches. Yes, that game, I really enjoyed that game. A lot of people are saying I agree with Odyssey being a surprise. That's crazy. Lots of people.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Good game.
Alien Pickle says, question, if you had to relocate your nose and put it somewhere other than your face, where would you put it?
I don't know.
Back of my head.
Forehead, right there.
Back of my head so I could smell my farts as I walked.
I'll just put it straight up there. Save the middleman.
Insane asked him a question. Would I still be able to smell with it? Yeah, because if not, you could put it up your butt and just leave it there and you'd be missing a nose, look creepy. I totally agree. So just reading the comments, I totally agree with AC Origins. I'm still playing hundreds hours in, totally has me hooked still. I actually haven't touched Red Dead since. Ooh, rough words. A battle is about to begin. Nor says, I'm addicted to the conquest section in Odyssey.
Yeah.
The cultists. And I actually heard, I think it was on Giant Bomb, they were complaining that those sections felt separate. And I was like, first of all, they're not separate.
No.
At all. Which
they're completely interwoven into a story more than they possibly could be.
Exactly. It's actually quite confusing. I'm going to have to go re-listen to it, so I hope I'm not saying what they said wrong. That could happen. Because I just caught this and was like, what the fuck? To me, they're connected. And to me, like, when that cultist section first comes up and you're like, are you kidding me? There's another group. There's another thing for me to do in this game. And they're fun. They're unique. They're a little bit more story. What were the ones in Origins called? Phalnix or Phalix or something like phallic symbols or something like that. There was a name for the gods at that time.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I forgot a lot about that game. Bayak put me to sleep too many times.
Yeah, for sure.
Bayak up Silwa. Jesus. It says that every 5 minutes. Fuck.
I think it was. It's not phallus, but it's like Phalnix or Phalnax.
Yeah, something like that. Oh shit! 95 viewers. This shit's gone up.
Yeah, it's gone crazy because we're talking about shit games, right? That's everybody wants to hear people diss on.
Everyone
games.
wants to talk about We Happy Few.
Yeah, shit games. So,
oh,
well, wait a minute. Yeah, no, wait a minute. Let's go back to We Happy Few just for a second. You're saying that when you were playing We Happy Few, I can't even get over this. You're saying that when you were playing We Happy Few, you liked the joy mechanic and how it worked? Because I felt it was unrealistic. No one else had to take joy takedown. No one else. You're the only one in the game that has to take the shit.
That's true. Yeah, but how do you know they're not taking it when they're behind closed doors? They're only standing in the public. They might go inside.
Because they're always standing in the public, motherfuckers. They're like half of them don't go to bed. You come out at nighttime and the guy's still there going.
But all the character models are identical, so they could be a different person. Like, there's like 4 different character models in that game. It's literally like 4. They all have the same fucking face. It's so like stupid.
Okay, so let's talk more bad about it, so I can turn you around. I'm going to turn you to dark side.
Oh no, I did just because I agreed with one point. It's still my favorite game of all time.
Okay, but it was also technically had a lot of issues.
It did. Technically, it had a ton of issues that I overlooked because I loved it. It's like when you've got a really ugly girlfriend or boyfriend and you overlook their problems because you love them so much.
Never happened. But whatever. I don't agree with you. A Way Out was one of my favorite games, Drum King 98 says. What do you think about that? I thought it was awesome.
I liked A Way Out.
Yeah. $15 for fucking 2 people to play a game, or $30 for 2 people to play a game. Great
Depends
co-op.
who you play with, though. I had to play with Johnny, so, you know. I hope Johnny's watching.
In some games, it really does depend, right? Like, you know, some friends can make pretty much anything fun.
Yeah, no, me and Johnny had a blast on that. That was really fun.
Reg and I had a really good time playing that game, and like to me, it was one of those titles that offered story and shooting and point and click adventure. There was everything in it, right? There's just everything in it. Norwegian says Takedown ignores the issues when he's in the mirror.
Yeah,
I don't know what that
just
means.
like I think he means that the issues with my physical appearance,
I think he is. I think he's teasing you physically.
which means that his wife must do the same for him.
Drum King says I played it with my dad 2 times all the way through. A Way Out. That's cool, man. A Way Out was great. A Way Out in the way it worked and melded story in and all these different gameplay elements. It did what the Telltale games couldn't do, I think. It did what Blood and Bullets tried to do and then failed spectacularly by not ever releasing the 3rd episode. That's the problem with episodic content. I love it. I like water cooler moments. I like talking and getting excited about games, but then the game doesn't get released and you're fucked.
Also, it had the biggest nose in a video game of all time, so that had that going for it.
Like
Jesus
that?
Christ. Adrian Brody and his nose is on steroids.
No. Adrian Brody would, like, his one nose. You know how you see the pictures where they show Earth and then they show Jupiter? And they're like, Earth could fill up Jupiter 3,000 times. They should do Adrian Brody's nose, that guy's nose, and fucking be like,
no.
Adrian.
You know you were annoyed that your map video. Fucking nose video. Do it.
No shit. Do it. I'm thinking
Do
about
it.
it.
Adrian Brody, guy from that game.
And then other
do it.
people's noses. Another question is, what do you guys make of the Atlas Disaster release?
Atlas is probably in my top 10 games of the year. I didn't play it, but it does look. Even I can. It looks like fucking shite. Even Karak didn't want to play it, and he was going to stream it. He was excited to stream that shit.
Dude, I couldn't even get it to run that well. And once I started playing it, you know, you can make some views by doing a video, a shit video, like you can. But that's not what I'm about. Like, if I'm not going to enjoy even taking a shit on it, I'll try to inform viewers for sure. But when I looked at that game, everybody was already informing viewers.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to know. The only thing I didn't like was that prior to it, nobody was calling into question the stuff that we have talked about on the podcast before it came out. We're like, really? Some of this seems odd, and it seems like no one else was speaking about it. And then afterwards, like when it comes out, people, you know, there's sort of that switch, that dichotomy. Norwegian Imposter says, where do you think Council placed in this year? So I finally beat all the episodes of Council.
Oh, okay. It's on sale, and I'm interested.
So I would say Reg and I've talked about this because he only played episode 1, but he liked it more. I played them all, but I liked episode 1 a good deal less, I would say, than he did. As long as you understand it's not supernatural, despite them really going out of their way to give you this feeling of it being supernatural, I think it's a pretty good game overall. Common Burt is now a member of Team Awesome. You rock, sir.
Nice.
And as a member of Team Awesome, we have a shit ton of swag to give you. But we haven't created it, made it, or even thought of it. So at some point, you'll get amazing swag. It'll most likely be whatever creepy shit that Takedown has in his room, and we'll just send it to you. We'll just be like,
I'll send you my old used socks. Take from that what you will.
Yeah, right. Used and sock. I wear my socks.
I didn't wear them on my feet, mate.
I wear my socks. If you're using your socks, we're in for a different thing. Oh, I'm waiting for my poker chip. Yeah, the poker chips. Matter of fact, maybe that's why the dogs were barking. Those should be here any day. I'm excited to do those.
Oh shit.
Outside of disappointing game, what's your most disappointing news of the year? So if we're talking about games.
The news that I didn't get a refund yet on the Discord store. That's probably. I can't think of any news, to be honest.
Tokyo Dawn, thank you very much. The Discord store, the Epic store, and all of that shit, I think that's the worst news. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. And Surrey, subscribe. Thank you very much. Let's see. Speaking of Atlas, what's your opinion on paid DLC expansions for early access games? They suck. The game needs to be done before the early access can be sold a DLC, right? Don't we agree on that?
Yeah.
Like, DLC shouldn't be sold early. That's, I mean, that doesn't make any sense, and we are getting that. With Telltale gone, not having a follow-up to Wolf Among Us was probably the most disappointing news. Epic money hiding games was very disappointing to Norwegian. What about you? Takedown, most disappointing news. Come on.
I can't think of any news.
Because you're too busy searching Grinder. Get off Grinder for a couple seconds.
I'm not on Grinder. I don't need any bum action.
I can
tonight.
see the reflection in your fucking glasses. There's a dude in a fucking onesie. And you're,
well, I don't know what subcategory that is.
Either do I. I don't go there, but you obviously do. Come on, let's go. What do we got? Most disappointing news. Okay, what about Johnny saying, worried about Final Fantasy VII and all the nervousness about it being delayed? Some of that news.
If Johnny said it, then it's not true. So I don't know.
Diablo on mobile.
Oh, that was pretty disappointing news for people who at the conference. So, but for me personally, couldn't give a shit.
Right.
So
that wasn't disappointing to you. What about?
No, I can't.
See,
was there any exclusivity this year?
That's exactly what I was going.
Hades being exclusive on the Epic Store.
Yeah. Why is everything negative for us? Man, everything negative for us revolves around that fucking Epic Store. I hate it.
I wanted to play Hades so bad. I still want to play it more than anything. It looks incredible. It's reviewed incredibly well, but...
Wait, but isn't it early access? People are giving it full reviews?
Yeah, it's early access as well. Or people are playing it and saying what they think of it.
Oh, okay. Great. And you like them, Supergiant?
Yeah, Supergiant are amazing.
Yeah, but have you played Pyre yet?
I haven't played Pyre,
so you have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
I've played 2 of them. That's enough.
No, it's not. It's the main. What are the other 2? Bastion.
Bastion.
That was
and
from
Transistor.
Like 1980s. It was on like the 2600 Atari. And what was the other one?
Christ.
Transistor. Even older. Oh, Takedown is an elephant. Just said Takedown is a fraud.
Well, at least I'm not spouting shit like fucking Bastions from the 80s.
Dude,
Jesus.
The game is ancient. It was a 360 game, right? You can't hold on to the fucking and like be like all their shit. You're really excited about their stuff. Come on, a 360 game, man.
Well, because I didn't play Pyre, which is probably their worst looking game. It's like some sports game fused with.
I'm gonna fucking reach through this camera. I'm gonna grab your neck. I'm gonna tear out your fucking Adam's apple like Roadhouse.
And let me go and get my sock first because that sounds hot.
Everybody here says, not everybody, but most people here say most disappointing news is Telltale shutting down. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Honest question. Answer in chat. If you're bitching about Telltale being shut down, did you buy Telltale's games in the first fucking place?
True, I did.
Sorry.
I bought every single game I ever made.
I did too. I bought all their games, so I am truly disappointed. I'm also disappointed, as my parents would tell me. But I'm disappointed.
I think the worst news is that, but the sub news is the fact that obviously we're never going to get an Evil Thingy 2. Your favorite and my favorite. Big B. Wolf Within 2.
Oh yeah, right.
Wolf Among Us. Evil Within and Wolf Within are fusion.
Do you know what I thought you were saying when you started talking about Wolf? I thought you were talking about Oh, I can't remember. There was another game that I thought you were talking about for a second. Most disappointed in EA and Activision not leaving video game publishing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of shitty publishers out there. We're not trying to be super negative here and have everybody lose their jobs, but Telltale being shut down, that sucked. That really hurt.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, that is very sucky. We also lost some streamers and YouTubers. That sucked. Some suicides. TB passed away this year.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Those were all. It was a weird year in gaming overall for just like losing some of, I would say, some of the more prestigious, some of the more known voices, and there's some chaos there. You can tell there's some chaos of who replaces what for certain people, and I don't think you can replace those kind of people, love them or hate them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty sad when that kind of stuff happens, and sad when you lose anybody, but I think for those, everybody sort of knew, at least it knew for TB that, he was pretty open about his illness and stuff like that. And that was sad as fuck. What do we got good? Biggest surprise. Did we cover biggest surprise? Biggest surprise. No, we didn't. We're almost at 100 viewers, man. Spread the word, everybody. We want to get to 100. Let's see what the fuck happens. What would happen if we got to 100? Are you going to take your shirt off?
If we get 100, I'll just spam my links again. That's always going to happen.
You're such a loser.
Nothing else.
Okay, here we go.
It's good publicity for a small channel like me.
Biggest surprise of the year. It is, and people should definitely subscribe to Takedown.
If people want to subscribe, my YouTube is youtube.com/Mr. Takedown KD, and
do
my
me
Twitch
a favor
is
and
Twitch.
Put your links in my Discord. I'm looking at the web version as well.
Because you can actually
Plague Souls. Oh, good. I got a clap for Plague Souls. This is good. The IGN writer that was found plagiarizing another YouTuber. Disappointing news for sure. Disappointing news, but probably increasing IGN's ability to handle stuff. If you guys have been noticing, IGN has been fucking stuffing their channel. And what I mean by that is, if they have a review, they also have the first 10 minutes. They have this is the best car. They have this is the best track. They have like 85 videos for one thing. That felt like it feels like it's slowly going away, but I think that was their reaction, at least for a small amount of time. So
Elephants on Acid said, who's Mrs. Takedown KD then?
His sock,
doesn't
apparently.
Exist. Yeah, my sock. My little black sock.
Okay, here's one. I'd say BattleTech was better than I expected, probably because I wasn't expecting to be much more than the average game. I liked BattleTech. I did have to say to wait, but that's because of technical issues. Jordan Wiseman, original creator of that, finally getting it back, finally able to do his thing. I think that's great. I'm really excited for them. I think those kind of games are very enjoyable. I like the real-time strat or the turn-based stuff. I love that. It's very fun, unless it's Phantom Doctrine.
I think the highlight for me was getting to go on the international podcast with the guy who made Pool Panic and ask him shit ton of questions about that amazing game.
That was Pool Panic was
that
awesome.
was a blast.
Except he had the world's worst fucking mic.
He did.
The dude was recording. He had been thrown off a cruise ship, and he was recording underwater, basically with a laptop mic. It was a terrible interview, but we did get to ask him.
We found out how he made
Yeah, wasn't that awesome? Yeah, if nobody gets a chance, if nobody gets a chance, you got to check out. You got to check out Pool Panic, man. You got to check out Pool Panic. Johnny Plays Live says, I was massively disappointed with Phantom Doctrine.
Yeah, that's Johnny's sort of genre, so I can see.
Remember in Phantom Doctrine, that first time you think you're safe, and a dude who is in fucking Zimbabwe, and you're in like Newport, Oregon, and the motherfucker shoots you through a window, and you're all, really? Are you kidding me? Takedown and I played that multiplayer, and even the multiplayer, we were like, not for us. Like, a lot of it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
BattleTech. Interesting. Go ahead.
The best video of the year on YouTube is probably a small video about Phantom Doctrine that got 2,000 views and was the highlight of my YouTube channel. That was good times.
That has to be your highest video, right?
That's the highest video on YouTube, actually. I checked it out.
On all of YouTube. PewDiePie, eat your heart out. PewDiePie could be hiring people from Fiverr to do crazy shit. Wouldn't matter. Did you just realize that if you look at me just right, it looks like I'm wearing the gnome's hat from the photo?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's so your best video though. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your success. Your success is like a runaway train right now.
My success is about as successful as the jobs that they're doing Red Dead 2. So
yeah. So you've got a 2,000 view video on Pool Panic.
Yes.
Right.
No, not Pool Panic. I wish.
Oh, sorry, Phantom Doctrine.
Phantom Doctrine.
Yeah. And then you did what I think a lot of YouTubers do, is stopped making videos. And I just want to celebrate your choice as probably my most disappointing choice in gaming in 2018. When you lost the will to make anything.
When I had a massive life-changing operation.
Oh, come the fuck on. It wasn't that. You just lost all desire. You know why? Because you were searching for the fandom. Now you don't care. But back then you were like, I want to be a superstar.
I mean, I am a superstar in here. My mom says I am. So
yeah. Well, there's a reason why your mom doesn't want to live with you. But what I'm saying is, no, seriously, that's cool. Congratulations to you. 2000 is very cool, man. That's a very good
the only video that's ever done it, though. Is it a good video? I haven't even watched it. I just recorded
It's a good video,
and
it's 2,000 views. That means 2,000. How many? Okay, how about this? You got 2,000 views. How many thumbs down?
Should I have a look?
Have a look.
5.
Dude, that's really good. That's a fucking
28.
That's got
28 thumbs up.
20. Yeah, that's like a 99 percentile. Yeah, that's very good. That means you remember you got 2,000 people, all of them anonymous, who can tease the fuck out of you, right? Who can give you a thumbs down because they want to be jackasses, and only 5 people chose to do that. And those 5 people might have been the only 5 who watched it. I'm just joking. All right.
Just in case you ever want to watch it again, I'll link it to you.
Phantom Doctrine, First Impressions. I've seen it. I watched that. That was back when I was trying to help you, when I thought, here's somebody I can do something nice for, and then you threw it in my face and stopped making videos. Yeah. So
I mean, I had a massive operation, so I'll be...
Yeah, it was a massive operation. You were out of the hospital in just a couple days and stuff like that, but that's cool.
I was in there for 2 weeks nearly, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, a couple days. and we're completely
2
fine
weeks.
both prior and after. But whatever, I mean, we can
I
use that as
mean,
an excuse.
It came back, so it's all good.
What came back?
The
Your
desire to make videos.
Why do you think your desire to make videos came back?
Because I saw the level of content you were putting out and thought, Jesus, someone needs to come along and do something about this.
Somebody needs to put this fucking bearded fool in his place. And
exactly. He talks about games. He doesn't even play or finish. Like,
yeah, exactly. So it's takedown. He looks at the main screen, does a review, and takedown's going to take him down. That's the plan. Yeah. But from the inside, you're like a little.
I just take the breadcrumbs. I take the breadcrumbs. Karak doesn't review it. I'm doing it. Done.
I did give you a lot of games. Yeah. I gave you a Thief Simulator because I wanted you to cover it. What did you do? You played it for 10 minutes, liked it, and still didn't do anything with it. What a jackass. You're like, man, this game's pretty fun. Talk to you in 6 months, and fucker never covered it. Bum Simulator, though, we're going to cover the shit out of.
We will. I'll cover that one because that looks like it's more suited to me in real life. Like, that's more of the person I am.
A bum?
Yeah. Compared to a thief.
Diehard drinker. I don't know, dude. Come on, let's be honest. When you were younger.
I mean, I've stolen 2,000 hearts on that video. So let's be honest.
That might be the most disappointing comment I've heard in 2018. What a cheeseball comment. You sound like you fucking belong in some Ryan Reynolds rom-com. All right, ask some questions if anybody's got some in here. We're going to go on to the next question I've got. Takedown, do you have time?
I've got plenty of time.
Okay.
We're streaming after this, aren't we, anyway?
Yes. Oh, what are we streaming?
We're streaming Blackout Club.
We're streaming Blackout Club. So if you guys get a chance, spread the word that we're doing this. We want to try to get to 100 viewers. Absolutely excellent. Even if we don't, I want to say thanks to everybody who showed up, even if it is to show up and just tease Takedown, which is totally fine.
Thanks to anyone. Thanks to anyone who subbed or followed me on Twitter or Twitch.
And thank you very much to anybody who has unsubbed to Takedown now that you know what he's truly like. All right.
Yeah.
So, what? No, I'm not going to ask that. Holy shit.
I need to get bullied. Jesus.
How many chickens do you estimate it would take to kill an elephant? One, if it was Assassin's Creed. Because, guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on in that game, but has anybody else you got attacked by chickens in Assassin's Creed, right?
I got killed by a chicken.
Yeah, so did I. Like, tons of times. So if you're talking about Assassin's Creed 1, if you're talking about real life, I don't know. What's a big chicken weigh? 6 pounds?
Yeah, I mean, you can get something called a capon, which is just a giant overfed cock.
Like mine?
So, yeah.
No, what do you mean? It's just a giant overfed chicken?
Yeah, you know what a cock is? A cock is obviously like the male.
Yeah. Well, let's ignore that. Let's talk about a good, svelte Ryan Reynolds chicken. Let's say 6 pounds.
Actually, I ate a really healthy, nice cock.
I love how your mic cut out right there, just so you know. Cut out perfectly.
Okay. I won't say. Okay.
Somebody in chat saying, "Wait, let me call my chicken guy to get some answers." You don't need to. We've got all the answers right here. And here's the answer: 6 pounds per chicken. I would say you get 1,000 chickens. 1,000 chickens could take down an elephant.
I'm actually going to do the maths right now.
1,000 chickens. So 6,000 pounds of chicken, pissed off chicken, pecking at you. That elephant's going to get tired after a little bit of time. And the chickens will take him down. We should do a video called like Fight My Random Animal, and we just put a random animal in there against a UFC fighter. But seriously, I would say, in all seriousness, a non-wet, normal chicken, one that's not loaded down with water, one that's, he's been doing a little dieting prior. Mile Wide said, elephant just has to lie or fall down to kill 100 chickens. Yeah, but that would be 60 times. And by that point, I think he'd be tired. He'd be tuckered out. Are you doing the math right now, Takedown?
Yeah.
I'm saying 6,000 chickens. That's my answer.
Okay, I'm gonna prove if it's correct or not. That's the fun of the game. Okay, so 10 chickens would be 8.5 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd need 100 chickens would be 85. 1,000 chickens.
Do you think anybody who signed up for this podcast to watch it today thought we'd be doing math on how many chickens it would take to kill an elephant? Probably not. That's why you should watch us.
So you probably need around, because it weighs 8.5 kilos, you've got probably around 10,000 chickens.
10,000. So I was off by about 4,000. You need about, is that to equal the weight? Because remember, chickens...
10,000.
Go ahead.
10,000 chickens would weigh the same as one elephant. if you're talking about the same species and everything.
Okay.
So now, if you put them on top of it, it wouldn't crush it, obviously, because it would be the same weight as it. So you'd need another 10,000 probably to crush it.
All right. But here's the thing: they're pecking away.
That was fun.
I'll take. I'm still going to go with 6,000 to 8,000 because 6,000 to 8,000 pecks. Imagine if you walked into a room and there were only 60 chickens, and those chickens were like, "Takedown, you've eaten our brethren. We know you've enjoyed KFC. We know we're coming the fuck at your dick." There's nothing you could do about it, dude. 60 chickens would kill you, I bet. Don't you think?
I think they would.
Scratching and fucking biting and shit like that.
Yeah, they can be vicious little fucks.
Yeah, chickens are evil. All right, what's the next one? What is the strange... I just read this. What is the strangest... What is the strangest place you've urinated or defecated? Oh, man. I mean, strange to everybody else or strange to me? Because those two things are... Oh, wow. This could get really... You're not from Germany, right? So we're not going to have to hear about another person. In a concert, in the middle of a crowd, Absy said, "Holy shit, Absy, you're dirty, dude. You're dirty little Absy." Elephant says, "In front of a bank at midnight."
Absy, you're such a tryhard. Never even happened. Fucking Absy.
Let me tell you a story. I've told Takedown this story, I think, in personally in like normal chat. But we used to always go to a family reunion, and it took 2 hours to get there, and I had to piss really bad. So my brother's driving, my mom is in the back seat. I'm about 13, and I got to piss like a 13-year-old has to piss, which means whole body weight basically is going to come out of me. My mom gives me a 2-liter bottle. First, she says you have to drink what's in there, and then you pee in the 2-liter bottle. We're in a Chevy, not Bronco, whatever Chevy, Blazer at the time. So my brother starts hitting the medium. Do you guys in Europe have the yellow things that cause it to go boom, 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 boom if you drive in the center of the road? Like there's a center divider. They have the almost like a divot. So he's doing that shit, and I'm trying to piss in this 2-liter. Now I'm getting mad, and I'm yelling at my brother, who's laughing his ass off. He's like, my mom turns around, grabs a dog leash because we have a dog at the time in the truck, grabs the dog leash and starts whipping me. She's like, "Shut up!" So I'm trying to piss. My brother's driving over the divider. My mom's whipping me. And I remember that was the only memory I took from that family vacation, was a hatred for my mother and my brother. So I would say the weirdest place I pissed is in a Chevy Blazer while being beat by my mother with a dog leash. Go. Beat me. Beat me.
Someone's face.
What?
Non-sexually, completely non-sexually.
What?
Basically.
What?
When I was 13, I've got this cousin who's like 14, so he's a year older than me. And we were fucking about, and he holds me down.
You were, for sure.
Floor.
Right.
He holds me down on the floor, and he farts in my face. Like, puts my nose into places it shouldn't be going.
That's war.
And farts in my face. So what I did was I pissed into a glass, and I chucked it all over his face. And just drenched him in my smelly piss. And that's probably the weirdest place I've technically pissed. And that is a true story, and that was the highlight of that day.
Yeah, that's so...
He's held me down and farted in my face, and I was like, I'm not having...
Yeah, that's so nasty, dude. That's so nasty. That's so nasty. And brothers, or this is a cousin. Was he older than you?
Cousin, yeah. A year.
Was he bigger? Like, could he hold you down easily?
No, he just like tripped me up and then just sat on my face.
Gotcha. Because my brother, he was evil. I told you about like feed me Cheerios with fucking Tabasco sauce in it. Would always do this crazy shit. And if anybody held me down and farted on me, that'd be war. Like and it'd be the kind of war that you did. Psychological. You didn't pee right on him. You took the time, you grabbed the glass, probably a Snoopy glass, I'm assuming. Garfield. You peed in it, you waited, and you applied force, and you got it directly on him. So kudos to you.
Yeah, all over his face.
Congratulations to you. Your story beats me because yours involves revenge. Man, dude, families are dicks. You know, families get away with the craziest shit. Little brothers, cousins, like some of the stuff I'm sure you've done to your brother, he's premeditated pissing, as somebody just said. Yes, indeed. Vengeance is best served in a small glass, Johnny says. That is for sure.
Warm as well, because it's always warm when it comes out fresh.
Oh, dude. I mean, I've been driving behind cars and saw the person with the bottle pouring their piss out. Have you ever done that? Have you ever been driving on long drives and you can tell somebody's dumping their pee out? Fucking so nasty. It makes me want to rear end them so it goes back into the car.
No, I mean, I've pissed in the car 100 times. It isn't like in a bottle or something, but I've never chucked it out the window.
Oh, I will say another time. So I had a Dodge Dart. This is I don't even know if you know what this car is, but at the time it was sort of a muscly car I got, and I had my friends in there, and one of my friends had a big old, like 32 ounce big gulp. He had pissed in it while we were driving, and he had it in front of him to dump out. Nice kid. But I accidentally got out of my car and slammed my front seat back because it was only a 2-door car. And he was leaning forward with it right at like nose level. And so the back seat hit it and smashed and blew urine all over the back of my car and all over his face. So, but it wasn't premeditated. See, I didn't do mine on purpose. Yours is a better story. Mine was just the antics of young children. Good question, though. Good question. Jesus, these are great. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Ooh, you're a mad scientist. Oh,
sorry.
Yes, family members. Thank you very much, guys, for spreading the word, by the way. I appreciate it. We're almost at 100. You're a mad scientist. What scientific experiment would you run if money and ethics were not an issue?
Something to do with the brain.
But a lot of ethics, a lot of brain stuff is not really ethics driven, other than them being alive at the time. You can usually get do you know what I would do, dude? I would, for sure. I'd make a Wolfman.
Shit, yeah. I'd want to make a Frankenstein.
Yep. I'd want to make a fucking beefed up soldier, a super soul. I would want to make like fucking Wolfman, ultra senses, right? The ability to smell, fucking still follows me. You'd have to figure out a keyword where you're like, bitch, I'll kill you unless you follow me. You do exactly what I say. But I would create a Wolfman, and that's illegal as fuck. Like you'd be screwed.
I think I'd get 6 of the best looking celebrity women, take their best features, and make them into some absolute disgusting, hideous monster. But then I'd be in love with it because I made it, so I'd have to.
There you go. All right. What's the most imaginative insult you came up with?
Well, Elephants on Acid asking if my wardrobe is from IKEA. I don't think it is. IKEA only sells shit.
Did you hear the question?
No.
What's the most imaginative insult you've come up with?
Oh God, I don't know. Too many insults. I don't know if they're imaginative. They're just childish.
Yeah, most of mine are childish. There's a couple where they can be pretty brutal. I've done a couple in the chat with you guys where somebody's like, God damn. But I usually keep that shit contained. I would say most of mine aren't. They're imaginative, but they're also quite cruel. I think that's what happens is imaginative ones come across as the most cruel. So it's like bringing up something, like when I joke with Takedown about a surgery or whatever like that. Those, if he didn't know I was joking, those could be considered
joking about my life-changing surgery that I could have died from.
Yeah, you're such a pussy. I could live without either one and I'd be fine. You're the only one who has to be fucking given one. And you had to.
Seeing as half the time you think it's the liver anyway.
I do, because here's the thing: if you already had one good kidney, why'd you have to get a replacement? But then you reminded me you don't.
Both dead.
Yeah. So both your kidneys were dead. Don't you think maybe that was just God asking you to sort of just shut it off? That it was time. It was time. You were done. You should just let yourself.
I tried.
Sorry. That was one of my deep insults. When you got it,
you don't know how many buses. You don't know how many buses I walked in front of, but they stopped every time.
Well, yeah, because they're Tesla buses now. You're not going to be able to jump in front of that shit anymore. It's not like Russia where they have the.
We don't have Tesla buses over here.
Oh yeah,
we don't have any electric buses over here. Do you get them in America then?
Yeah, we've got electric buses. Jesus. We've also got the ones with the electric. It's a hook like old bumper cars, and it gets its power from lines above it.
Oh yeah, we have those trams.
You have those trams, right?
They've been around for like 60 years, but anyway.
So let's say they come in and they're all Mr. Takedown KD.
Can you imagine? That'd be so good.
This is the doctor. The doctor comes in. He's like,
huge fans.
Mr. Takedown KD, we've been watching you for years. Your Phantom, whatever that game is, ended up just really absolutely making us love your stuff. But we can't find you a kidney, and you've got 8 hours. So it's like the movie Crank. You've got 8 hours to live and do whatever you want. That's legal. What is something?
This is a highly personal, specific question. Jesus.
Yeah, here we go. We're not done yet. But you also have $1 million as an apology. They give you $1 million in a briefcase and 8 hours to do whatever you want. Now, you can't kill somebody. What would you do with $1 million and 8 hours of your life left?
probably find Blake Lively, give her the $8 million to do things to me.
$1 million? Do you think Blake Lively would be like, oh, $1 million? I'll give up fucking Ryan Reynolds for this kidney-less looking dude.
I'm dying. She'd have the sympathy and the money. She will not be able to say no.
She'll not be able to say no. So that's.
I have to check first, though. She's had a kid. I'd have to check things out first.
Oh wow, that's after all this. That's all you can come up with. That's all you can come up with is Blake Lively. That's your answer.
Yeah.
Blake Lively, really?
What am I going to do in 8 hours? And she's one of the hottest women on the planet.
What are you going to do in 8 hours with $1 million? There's
Blake Lively. You wouldn't pick Blake
Somebody
Lively.
says the $1 million goes to bodyguards to kidnap her. Oh, that's true.
Okay, not Blake Lively. Then insert random celebrity who's hot here. That's the answer.
All right. How can you even get Blake Lively, dude?
I've got $1 million.
Got $1 million.
I can fly.
No, you can't suddenly fly. I didn't give you a superpower.
No, not me literally flying. I can get a plane. Oh shit, it's 8 hours away.
No, you can't.
Fuck.
You got 8 hours. What the fuck? They're not just waiting, going, man, I hope this guy's got $1 million so I can fly him around. Yeah, there's some restrictions.
I'll get a private jet. I'll get a private jet from the military. It'll probably be there in about 4.5 hours. I only need about 6 minutes.
What world do you live in where the military just lets you fucking give $1 million and they'll let you fly around?
Make a wish. I don't know. Jesus.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's awesome.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation have 8 hours.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine explaining that to them, being like, guys, Make-A-Wish Foundation. I don't really have a wish, but I've got $1 million and I want to go see if Blake Lively will have sex with me. Can you get me there? That would be your wish. They're like, do you want to meet Hulk Hogan or The Rock or anything? You're like, no. I want to meet Blake Lively and ask.
I'll be like, I'm not one of these 4-year-old ball kids you're dealing with here, mate. I'm a 27-year-old man.
Yeah. Technically at the end of your prime. Like you're almost now useless Vegas anyway, right?
At the end of my Amazon Prime, exactly.
At the end of your Amazon Prime, you've canceled it. You're not getting any free shit. You've got $1 million and you're going to go to the Make-A-Wish Foundation and say, get me to Blake Lively ASAP. And then you're going to try to see if you can make her feel bad. You know what? You have a higher chance of Ryan Reynolds trying you. True. He might feel bad. He might be.
Or spend $1 million to get a face surgery spot with him so I can do Blake Lively every day.
Jesus Christ! You got 8 hours. Well, who does?
Have you not seen Face Off? They did it in about 2.
That's true. So what would you dress up as? Ryan Reynolds is what you're saying.
I'd dress up as Ryan Reynolds and constantly, basically, do his wife, which would technically be rape because it wouldn't be Ryan Reynolds, but it wouldn't be because she'd think it's him.
So it would be for sure, but let's just look at the technical specifications here. You're what, 5'3"?
I'm 5'3". I'm 6'2". Thank you very much.
You're 6'2"?
Yes.
How tall is he?
Oh god, I'll have to Google it.
Okay,
we're going deep on this.
And he's ripped now. And he's ripped. Right? That's because I'm going to ruin your dreams. I'm going to ruin your dreams. It's impossible.
How tall is Ryan?
Do you think your tube body with your big fucking kidney scars is going to show up, and just because your face looks like her wife, she will be like, and then you can't even tell the story. You couldn't even say, hi, I'm Ryan Reynolds, I'm your husband.
Oh, I'm taller than Ryan Reynolds by a fucking inch. Yes, get in there.
How tall is he?
6'1".
Gotcha. But he's jacked, dude, and you're not jacked.
No, but she's in his off season.
You have the body of a newborn child stretched out to 6'2". That's basically.
No, but that's his body at the moment for a role. For a role, he's doing that as well.
Does your mom have to like lift you out of bed?
Yeah, making me seem like some disabled child. Jesus,
I'm just being a shit. All right, moving on from there. Absolutely excellent. Let's see here.
I'm not nasty enough to be doing this stuff to Karak. I'm nothing but lovely.
Dude, you're an asshole to me all the time. All right, here.
That's true.
I love the where is the strangest place you've urinated or defecated. Boy, I wasted that question early.
Have you ever drank your own urine?
I
have.
I haven't even cut myself. You know how somebody will cut themselves and suck on their finger, get the blood, keep the blood. I love that.
I do that all the time. No, I don't.
That's fucking creepy as hell. This just went into Creep Factor 5.
I have drank my own urine though, because I was curious to see what it tasted like. I don't think that's too weird. I think most people have probably done that at one point in their life.
That's how a fucking homicidal person explains that everybody else should murder people, because they're like, I'm sure everybody's wanted to murder people. Not everybody's woke up. Yeah, what the F, as Johnny says. Wait. F?
Someone said you watched Pets Takedown. What's Pets? What's going on?
Oh, I wonder if that's like a TV show. or movie where somebody
About
drinks
people
on your
drinking their own piss.
You do know that there's like science, there's a lot of science behind drinking your own pee and like immunotherapy and shit. TV show with puppets for later, he says. So watch it for later. Kids in a sandbox. Okay. So are you going to have kids? That's a question. Are you going to have kids? You want to have
If
kids?
anyone will let me have kids inside them, then yeah.
I want to put it inside you. Well, you got $1 million in 8 hours. Might be able to hire a surrogate and that. If you had, what do you want? A baby boy, baby girl, or would it matter?
I want to not name my gender before it's born because I think that's wrong, Karak. Could you?
No, what I'm saying is, what would you like?
I would like to not give it a gender definition at birth. I don't want it to be defined.
Once they're born and they're
it can decide what it is when it's older.
You're being a shit and you're lying because you know where this question's going to go. If you had a baby girl and you knew that all the shit that you wanted to talk about, you probably were not going to be able to talk about. Would you feel?
I thought you were going to ask me a different question.
Would you feel like depressed? Would you be like, man, I really wanted a baby girl?
Or... No, because I talk to either of them equally. Like,
oh wow, you'd be one of those dads, huh?
That little girl would never want to meet a guy because they think that they'd end up.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Discord has just refunded me. Oh yeah.
Are you kidding? It only took a week and a half. Congrats. I still haven't got my refund from Discord.
You might have got it now though. BRB while Karak checks his refunds.
Nah, I don't need to check it. I don't give a shit. What game were we getting refunded? Oh, the last night nightmare of last night.
The shit version of Black Box, whatever it's called, Blackout Club.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Blackout Club looks so good.
What's the worst way you think it would be to die? And thank you everybody for spreading the word and subscribing and stuff like that. It's been awesome.
I've got an answer, but I don't know if it's inappropriate. But it's literally the only way I can think of that's the worst. Having your mum sit on your face and suffocate you. I think that's the worst way. I can't imagine anything worse.
Are you joking? That's really the worst thing you can think. Maybe I think up of ways to kill people too often. Being eaten alive by a human. That is a bad one. That's creepy. Being eaten alive by a person slowly, just starting at the teeth.
You think that would be worse than your mum sitting on your face? And I'm talking about sitting in your face and you don't want. I'm talking about no underwear.
Yeah. Because then suffocation takes a very small amount of time, but somebody could eat your body for quite some time.
But then you've got the last thought or memory of your life is your mum sitting on your face naked.
And do you know what I'd be thinking? Thank God I'm not being eaten alive by a human.
Or you'd be thinking, I wish I had some KFC right now.
Elephant says being mauled by a bear. Yeah, bears don't kill you. They're a lot like a dinosaur. They're like a lion where they're just going to chew on you while you're alive, too. Any of that kind of stuff would suck. Do you know the worst for me, though, would be burning alive? The idea of it's just it's terrifying. And I've done the mistake in late night searching on Google and found a video of that. And you're just like, it's terrible. That would be horrible. Okay, here's a question that Takedown can answer because he's never done it. Do you brag about random acts of kindness you perform?
I don't, if I'm honest. If I did it, I wouldn't tell people because I don't see the point. If you're telling someone, you're only doing it.
Yeah, I would say most of the time, unless there's somebody else that might be affected. Most of the time, you just do it, and
unless Karak's going on about giving me game codes because he wants everyone to know what a nice guy he is.
Actually, you stated, just so you know, just this last time, you actually mentioned right before I was able to say that I gave you a game code, so you can fuck off. Yeah. All right,
we both know how it really is.
We both do. You're the bottom. So let's see.
Why are you even imagining that? Jesus.
Or you don't know. What do you think about? Think of someone who you suspect or doesn't like you. This is interesting.
Oh, I'm talking to him right now.
Think of someone.
Here
we go.
Telling me to die as soon as I get a transplant. Jesus.
Here we go. I'm not telling you to die. I'm saying you should. There's a difference. One's passive, one's aggressive.
Exactly.
I'm just saying it's time for you to move on. Dude, heaven could be amazing. Heaven could be just hours of your mom suffocating you slowly. Might be worth it. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Think of someone you suspect, who you suspect or doesn't like you. What do you think they think about you? Very interesting question.
Wait, I'm just checking out my PayPal refund. This looks good. Oh, they're not going to make it for 2 weeks.
Okay,
Jeez.
move on. I want to ask. I want you to answer this.
2 more weeks, yeah.
Think of someone you suspect or doesn't like you. What do you think it is that they think of?
I don't know. I assume everyone doesn't like me. I don't assume everyone does. So for
You
me,
have said that to me before, and I can't tell if
yeah.
you're just being a pariah and you're like nobody likes me, so that you.
No,
hope
I just
somebody says
I just
somebody.
assume that they don't like me. So if someone does like me, oh, that's cool.
I would say for the most part, I know
90% of your YouTube followers.
Most of my YouTube followers hate me. No, I would say I'm talking about personal life, like where
Oh, okay.
you got people who live around you, friends. There's a person I know, and I think that they think that I'm the whitest white trash that ever white trash.
Is it your wife?
No,
Okay.
no. But
That'd be
somebody who
cool
knows
if it
her.
was though.
But I feel that.
Oh,
I feel that.
ready?
Yeah, I feel that they look down on me, like for the way I talk, for what I do. You know that kind of person. Most people who know me either dislike me or like me, and I know, but this one person I don't know. That's what I think. All right.
What do you think? Why do you think they think you're white trash? Do you like take your bins out in your underpants?
Because this is the way I am. I do talk like this. I do talk this dirty. People know I do, and I think that they just assume they're better than me. And that's I didn't add that because I wanted it to be about what my thoughts were, not what I think overall, like that they just think that they're better. But having had them around a couple times, you get that highfalutin pinky up thing. Like
here's the question though: are they better?
Are they better? They're better off.
Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a status and money thing.
I think it's a status thing. I think it's I think they take money far too serious, and that it's like, oh, because there's not millions of dollars being made or something like that. It's just you're a loser.
Yeah, but who makes millions of dollars? That's a fucking
These people.
small amount of people. Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I should be doing YouTube with them. Damn.
If you could have dinner with 3 people from history, who would they be? For me, Hitler for sure, because I would try to figure out like how that all ever happened. Blake Lively'd be a fun one.
Blake Lively, Jessica Chastain, and Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer
they're all
Lawrence.
single.
Dude,
I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, she'd be so boring to talk to. She just seems like such an airhead. I could be wrong. But you'd impress her. You could show her your scar. You could be like, hey, look at my scar where they took out a body part.
Like, hey, I've got 8 inches here and I've also got 8 inches here.
Oh, wow.
And she'd be like, like a Japanese schoolgirl.
Oh, here we go.
You're so funny.
Here we go. When you poop in a public toilet, do you hover, build a nest, or just sit right on down?
I do none of that shit because I'm not going in a public toilet. That's nasty. I save it till I get home.
If I have to, like if I'm going to die, like if there's going to be a O-line rupture of some point and the shit's just going to spill up into my body and I'm going to slowly fucking suffocate my own feces, I'll fucking wrap that thing in enough. Matter of fact, I've grabbed toilet paper rolls from other stalls and just fucking caked it. Put it on the floor. I have no clue what people are doing in there because they're probably not all pooping. So
nope.
So I would say I make a nest.
Yeah,
Let's see.
If I do, which is very rare.
Ooh, this is weird. Do you sleep with your eyes open or closed? The fuck? Well, like 90% of the people sleep with their eyes fucking closed. What kind of question is that?
Who sleeps with their eyes open? I know people do, but that's just creepy as fuck.
What's the weirdest or most unexplainable thing that's ever happened to you?
Probably that paralysis thing in the middle of the night. I had that once.
Yeah, night paralysis. I had forgotten. Somebody in Twitch had asked us, what are the 3 top mechanics in games?
Oh.
This was a question from earlier when we were...
Weapon durability is amazing.
No. 3 top mechanics in games.
Over encumberment in weight.
Oh my god.
That's the bottom one. I can't think of it. I can only think of bad ones. Maybe.
Thanks, Mike.
Day cycle and night cycle.
Oh, day and night is very cool. That's a really good suggestion. For me, day and night's good. I'll steal that as one of mine as well. I think the trail songs in Red Dead.
Hmm.
And it sounds so stupid, but the fact that he doesn't know any till he gets with the other guys and starts humming them, he doesn't know them all the way, and he slowly learns them, is just its sense of time, sense of like care and detail. It's very cool.
My Arthur's never done that. Never.
You've never sat and sang and then hummed it on the horse later?
No, I've never sat and sung in the first place. That's probably why. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can sit down and then say join song.
Oh, is that at night time when they're all drinking?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Virgil says, when a game tells you how long ago your last save was, instead of simply telling you you're going to leave or lose progress if you quit. Yeah, no shit. Auto
what I love
leveling
in
enemies
games?
annoys them. Go ahead. Yeah, what?
Red Dead doesn't do a time counter of how long you've played. Red Dead doesn't do that. I love to know how many hours I've put into a game.
The Xbox will
Genuinely.
show you outside. There's a way to find it in the Xbox, but yeah, that
PS4
is true.
doesn't.
PS4 doesn't.
So I would love to know how many hours I've put into Red Dead now. I'm thinking of maybe, but you never know.
Oh my god. No, I'm not even going to answer that. I'm not even going to ask that. What do you hate about your body?
The karak's imagining it right now.
I am. That's why I licked my
That's what I
lips
hate about
right.
it.
Right. I was
Exactly.
asking that. I asked it. And I was like,
don't know, all of it. It's pretty average.
oh, come on. Don't be a cutter.
I was going to say don't be a CUNT then. Jesus.
No, jeez, I'm not going to use that language on a podcast. What are you talking about? I'm fucking.
I didn't.
I'm a demure and subtle young man.
You're white trash, so you should say it. Probably my fistula in my arm. I'd say that.
Oh, the fucking where they put the injections in, because that shit hurts still, right?
Yeah, you can't see it on the can.
Oh no, you look like a heroin addict. Are you sure you're not a heroin addict?
I've only done heroin twice.
Does it just hurt really bad?
No, it never hurts. It just vibrates. It's like if I shoved it right up a cow, they'd feel it.
Really?
Yeah, it just vibrates constantly. All the blood flowing back and forth.
Oh, you can feel that, like the heartbeat?
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that big, the lump.
I would say for mine is the fact that, like, especially even younger, like weight, I was always vacillating between. If I don't work out all the time, I'll just balloon up like a son of a bitch, and I fucking hate it. Like, I lived with a guy. His name was Buck. Great guy, Southern kid. He would eat fried everything in my apartment. He would fry so much shit, the linoleum would be slick, like with grease. Like, it was fucking disgusting. But he would eat everything you could possibly imagine, and he was like cowboy weight, you know, super thin, UFC cutting weight kind of thing. And I was always pissed because I could look at a fucking potato chip and gain half a pound. So I'm always running, always working out. Like, it's just something I've always had to do. I've been lucky in some ways, but that would definitely be a big one for me. Cat Sleeve says, Takedown, do you blame all your problems on your mom and dad?
Well, when did I blame anything on them?
No, I think he's asking.
Oh.
Like hereditary. Bad kidneys. Do you care? Are you like,
well. Oh, if that's what he's asking, then let him just clarify in case I answer a question and I get myself in shit if my dad ever watches this.
Would your dad ever watch it?
He watches it sometimes.
Okay, well, just so you know, Takedown KD, dad, if you're in this chat, he threw piss in somebody's face.
Oh, he knows, obviously.
Actually, he probably knows about that. He probably doesn't care.
You probably find it funny.
I don't blame my parents for genetic shit. We're all a mishmash of everything that happens to us. Like, I think Takedown's horrendous drug use when he was younger probably caused his kidneys to go bad.
I was 2 and I was cutting on fucking steroids that Joe Rogan wouldn't even take.
Exactly. Fucking just Tyrannobol, Decadianabol. You're like, roided child.
I was bigger than Dwayne Johnson when I came out of the womb.
Hey, Cat Sleeve says yes, that's actually what he was asking.
Genetically, I don't, because it's not their fault. I mean, my dad feels guilty. It's nothing to do with my mum, by the way.
Right.
We've had tests, and he feels guilty, but I don't blame him because like nothing he could have done.
Right, and there's a chance that he would have had a kid that was actually good and wholesome who didn't have all these problems.
Yeah,
right?
like my brother.
Yeah, like your brother. So you're just sort of twins. You're the Danny DeVito. Arnold Schwarzenegger's your brother. You're the Danny DeVito of twins. Yeah,
he's the dumbass who can't talk and has just got a jacked body, and I'm the intelligent, clever one.
Who can't talk. I like that. Got to add the can't talk part. Yeah, how do you blame your parents for that shit, right? I mean, shit happens. Yeah. Like, you get two people together, you mix their genome and fucking...
Murder Fist, you're the leftover crap.
Wow.
But yes, I am.
Damn. But yeah, technically he is.
That's why I'm on YouTube, and my brother's not, because I'm the one who has to do anything I can to get a bit of money.
Well, I was the last child of my parents, and I've always assumed it was because they saw me and were like, "Okay, our shit's not working."
Yeah, we should stop now. We've made enough mistakes.
Frankly, if this is your best, maybe you ought to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what DeVito said in Twins, I guess, is you're the leftover crap. He wasn't saying it to you.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have minded either way.
Okay, here we go. Oh, this is getting deep. This is getting deep. Kangalogain. Fuck, I keep messing that name up. Says, so if it was possible, would you genetically tailor a future child of yours to remove the rogue genes that cause kidney problems, heart problems, etc.?
Is that to me or to you?
To us. We'll go with you, though.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if I don't give the question to you right away, you'll be on Grindr in seconds. Like, I got to keep you busy at all times.
I've never been on Grindr, but I'd assume that's something I wouldn't get banned from.
I think you're lying, but continue.
Just imagining all the hot guys on there. I think. Oh, so yeah. What's the question? Let me read it.
Would you genetically tailor a future child to remove those issues?
Oh, I'd have to. Like, I've spoken to a geneticist, and I would have to first of all do a sperm sample, and then have the gene removed, and then impregnate the woman. So I wouldn't be able to have a direct.
No shit. I'd have to, no shit. Because if you did, you will pass it on 100%.
50%.
50%, really? Damn.
Yeah.
That's insanely high. For me, I absolutely would. I think that there's nothing wrong with saying that a child who is deaf, or I think now people want to be termed as hearing impaired, they have a brilliant life. They can have amazing lives, and they absolutely can. But I think overall, I would rather fix those big health issues so that we can worry about the other stuff you can't fix. So I do like the idea of looking at things and saying, hey, you know what? Obesity, for example, fucking people eating too much, not enough food in the world. Like, there's multiple things I would love to be able to remove and say, that's not going to happen to this person. And I don't see a problem with that. But that's just me. Diversity also helps.
Yeah, but not if it's to the detriment of the person's life.
Yeah, right.
Like a kidney problem would be more detrimental than a deaf person, because a deaf person can live healthy.
Yep. Kidney stuff can fuck you up for a period of time. It's a good question. I mean, it's something that's coming up right now, right? It's something you and I are just old enough that we probably won't really be alive to see the brunt of, but that shit's going to continue. There's going to be gene-edited children running around. I already feel they're gene-edited, dude, because when I was in school, I was 6 foot. I'm 6'1", and I was considered pretty big, and now you got high schoolers who are like 7'19", right? Like, yeah, true. Like, what are they doing? Drinking them? Is the milk different? I'm not lying, dude. Everybody, when we went to a graduation recently, every motherfucker looked like they were just getting prepared to play for the Lakers. Like, they were that big. It was crazy town. So that kind of shit. And I will say, it feels to me like breasts and stuff have increased, because in school there was a couple people who were well endowed, and now it's like it seems like people are, I would say, maybe going through puberty.
You get young girls now who are like 12 and 13 who look like they're 18 because they're stacked, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's creepy. There's definitely something in the food. As somebody says, GMO food. I don't even think it's GMO food. I think it's the amount of food and the high fats that we're going with.
We've got some big titty in the water. That's what's going on.
Big titty in the water. Do you wear pajamas? No.
No, I sleep in my underwear.
Let's see. How big was your biggest poop? What was it? I shouldn't have read that just randomly like that. I didn't mean to scream at everybody. How big was your biggest poop? That's gross. We don't need to answer that.
I don't know. No.
Wait. What? What heathen would do this? Milk before cereal, or cereal before milk when you're eating cereal?
Well, I put in the cereal, then the milk.
Of course. What heathen would fucking fill a bowl full of milk and then throw cereal in it? Like,
yeah, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. That's terrible. You're a bad person.
Someone posted that on Twitter last month, and then a load of people replied saying, I don't even have milk in my cereal, I have water. And I was like, oh, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Disgusting, man. They're saying they put water with like golden grams or cornflakes.
Yeah. Disgusting.
That's how you identify who's going to be a murderer when they grow up.
That's natural selection. That's how you identify who should be not breeding.
Exactly. That's what you do, is you look at them and you're like, how do you do your cereal? And if they say water, you just give them a stamp that's like, puts water with cereal, and then everybody knows, step away. Don't come near me.
Exactly. That's nasty.
What else do we got to talk about? It's already almost 1. We always say we're going to go short. We've gone short once or twice, but most of it, I sound like a chick. But we usually don't. I tried using pumpkin beer and cinnamon toast crunch, waste of beer and cereal.
Oh no, that sounds horrible. Beer and cereal.
Yeah, beer.
Everyone who watches anime is also a serial killer. That's so random.
Do you have any skeletons in your closet?
What, have I murdered anybody, you mean?
Or are we going to admit
metaphorical?
That? Yeah, are we going to admit that on the... How about this?
I don't have any skeletons.
How about this? You always tell me this is not true, but we're going to wait here till you answer this. Have you ever said anything to somebody and felt truly terrible afterwards, and what was it?
Yeah, when I was younger, not now. When I was about 15, I think I've told you this before, there was a kid in my school who came in and he said something and I said, oh yeah, so is your mum. Like, you know, when you stay and stuff, like, oh yeah. And he goes, dude, my mum died last week of cancer. And that's usually an answer we used to get at school. I don't know if it was the same for you, but somebody would say something like, oh, my mum's dead. So, as like a response.
I'm a very scientific person. So whenever that would come up as a response, I'd be like, fuck, I didn't know. So whatever. So I never felt bad for that kind of stuff.
No, I didn't feel bad, but then I carried on going, yeah, your mum didn't die. And then I kept going on about his dead mum.
Ooh, yeah, that's...
And I kept going like, oh yeah, your mum probably died because she had your son and she realised what you were like.
Oh, that's pretty raw. Yeah, that's...
So I went really rough. Yeah. And then someone came up to me and said, look, you need... And then he punched me in the arm.
And then you forgot that part. Then he attacked you physically.
Yeah. And then someone came up to me. No. So first of all, someone came up to me and said, dude, his mum actually died. I think it was the teacher. Like, and I was like, oh shit, that must be true. But teacher's not in on this shit.
Yeah, Teacher and him aren't getting together going, let's fuck over Mr. Takedown Katie.
Yeah. And then he punched me in the arm and I was like, all right, you can have that punch. Because I said your mum's dead and she is. But if you punch me again, I'll smack your fucking head in. And that was basically it. And I felt bad because his mum did die of cancer the week before.
Yeah, it's... Yeah,
because I went all in. And that was just like, because I thought he was joking because he's done that before. But like, oh yeah, my mum's dead, and it's like they're not. Like people joke about that for some reason.
People will drop that all the time.
Yeah, so that was harsh.
Yeah, I will say, I didn't necessarily do something. I did ghost somebody. You know what ghosting is, right?
Yeah, I've done that loads. Yeah,
I don't ever do that. I ghosted somebody, and I got a lot of phone calls for a couple of weeks afterwards. You know, like what the fuck? You know, like. What's happening, blah, blah, blah. And I ghosted them for what I thought was a reason when I was younger. And then you get older and you're like, the fuck? Like, what? Like, why did I even do that? Unfortunately, by the time, you know, we came back into contact, there was, you know, like no real friendship there anymore. So I would say that would be the worst. The stuff I say is pretty harsh, but I've never really felt too bad for it because, like you, I joke. Or if I do say something, I'm almost never, ever, ever the instigator. Almost ever. And if somebody comes at me, words don't really bother me, so usually I don't even have to respond. But yeah, ghosting is pretty terrible. I think that's a terrible thing to do to people, especially younger kids get it done to them. That's pretty devastating.
I've had it done to me a few times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
So somebody just like stopped whatever. I've had it
stop replying, stop contacting you.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, maybe not in this podcast, maybe with Abzi. I did have one person ghost me, who's a best friend. And they'll occasionally respond to an email, but that's about it. And
yeah, I had that as with a best friend as well.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like there's no, you're like, hey, it was, and what's weird is it was like, oh, we're doing stuff all the time. And then randomly it just it was gone.
Exactly. 12 years of best friends and all of a sudden nothing.
That was mine too. 12 or 13 years. Yeah. And I'm just assuming after 12 years, they were like, man, Karak's a dick. But
now you're the big YouTube star. He probably watches you on YouTube.
He does, and we've talked since then. But he just ghosted. And some people who are my patrons know this person because they're my friends, and we've talked about it. But yeah, they just disappeared. Mm-hmm. It was a very odd thing. Drum King wants to know, how close have you come to dying?
I don't think I have. Maybe when I was born, because I was being born, and I might not have survived. That's about it. I don't think I've ever come close to dying in real life.
And when you were when you were sick. You were really not. I mean, it was terrible, but you were not. They have machines and stuff to keep it.
Unless I died on the operating table, I wasn't going to die.
Right.
So, yeah.
For me, statute of limitations. I'm not allowed to talk about one of them. The other one was probably getting stabbed because it was terrifying, terrible. I would say that was it. Oh no, I did tell you the story about the guy who killed somebody after I smartassed to him the day before.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, where I told him he was like, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, bitch, fucking come at me. And then the very next day he didn't show up for work and, and he had murdered somebody. So I guess maybe that was probably the closest. What else we got going on? What are we going to do for our channels? Let's end this up with what are we going to do? What do we got going on?
If you want to post my link so everyone can, because I can't post them.
Yeah, go for it. Continue.
Perfect. So after this, we're doing a stream, which will be on Karak's Twitch, which is this one, my Twitch, and then Absy's Twitch, part of the Better with Friends. Then we're going to do Blackout Club.
Yeah.
Which is going to be
like Stranger Things, the multiplayer game, I guess.
It looks so good to watch and play. And then I'm going to do some streaming of whatever random shit I can find on Steam and YouTube videos of random shit. And this will go up on YouTube tomorrow, by the way, on my YouTube.
What's going to go up on YouTube tomorrow?
Random Banter Files.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be, you've got 1 or 2 more video game awards to give out. Getting back into the review process slowly. A lot of the stuff is Better with Friends, doing Twitch, stuff like that, whenever I don't have a YouTube review to do. Just continuing to try to fucking plug through another year. I'm actually a little bit nervous about February and January because there's games start coming out. It's just like there's so many titles,
big ones as well, like ones that will take ages to cover.
Yeah, and I think Better with Friends, like for me, is like, I mean, obviously, like no review will ever suffer from it. I'll still do any reviews I have planned or that come up, but that kind of stuff I've really been enjoying streaming with you guys and streaming it. Yesterday I streamed Hunt. And I had like over 100 people in the chat, and that was fun to just talk about Hunt, like such a weird game. That's what we've been trying to do together behind the scenes, is decide what games we think you guys would want to see that are free or that are not super expensive, because everybody's covering the new shit, and we'll do that as well at times. But other than that, I think that's it for us. We're at 1 o'clock my time. We started around 10:30, so we've been going for a long time. So we'll start streaming Blackout Club in the next maybe 20-30 minutes back on the channel. Good. Yeah, we got to get it up and running, making sure that all of our streams are set up, and then we'll be back on here. But I want to say thank you to everybody who showed up. It's been awesome. That was an amazing turnout. I definitely appreciate it for something that is not normal here. Swift Turtle says, good time as always, fellas, even if Takedown continues to blacken my soul. Wow. Anyway, that's it for us.
I see that as a positive.
Exactly. It's the only way you can see it, right? Peace out, everybody.